to a more successful future.
Adam Gold here from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. And here we are again. It is Thursday night, and that means it is time for the Thursday Touchdown Jackpot, where you can win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. All you got to do, pick an anytime touchdown scorer. If that person scores the first or last touchdown, you win your initial bet, plus you win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Don't pick a jet. They're probably not going to score. FanDuel.com/Adam Gold. FanDuel.com/Adam Gold for FanDuel. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Must apply profit boost token on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last touchdown pick. Bonus is issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Hunger lives in neighborhoods all around us, but it doesn't have to. Together, we can provide 1 billion meals by 2030, because everyone should be welcome at the table. Learn more at nourishingneighbors.com.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm. Injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
They score! Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Weather. I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Pretty afternoon to be outside. High temperatures in the mid-60s under partly cloudy skies. A little chilly for tomorrow morning. We'll see a low of 38, but we're right back into the mid and upper 60s for highs tomorrow and climbing into the 70s over the weekend.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 748 points today to 47,506.
Right wing McNeil, catch release 3, bullseye. Backing Marvel down now. Throws it left wing McNeil. Catch, rise, fire, yes!
Great pass that time by Darion Williams.
Williams knows he needs another one for a double-double. He lets it 3 fly right wing, yeah. Right of the circle, Darion Williams is up to 26. Reed has the ball. Snaps it left for McNeil. Step back 3 left wing. New career high for Paul McNeil, and Coach Wade calls time for subs.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. What's going on, everybody? I'm Tim Donnelly. Dennis Cox producing the show. By the way, Dennis Cox today celebrating, 10 years with Capital Broadcasting?
The official celebration today, but it was August of this year. But yes, officially, I guess.
You're celebrating it.
It was celebrated today, but yes. I've been with Capital Broadcasting and The Fan for, I guess, since August of this year, 10 years.
We want to celebrate you as well.
Thank you.
There you go.
I'm full of pie. Chocolate chess pie.
All right. As opposed to what? Never mind. Sounds delicious, actually. All right, it is time.
Trust me, it is.
It is time here on The Drive to jump right into the Big 3 at 3. Number one. UNC Greensboro traveled to NC State, traveled to Raleigh to play NC State men's basketball yesterday. There were fireworks, as there seems to always be when Will Wade is around. NC State is averaging a technical per game through their first 3 games.
It's a lot.
The Red Reckoning, living up to the name, right? That's what Will Wade was calling his takeover of the NC State basketball program, the Red Reckoning. Well, there's some reckoning happening. You have to be prepared for anything when NC State plays. Anything and everything. And you have to be prepared for no mercy. This is not a team looking to make friends. This is not a team looking to, say the right thing, do the right thing. They're a team that is looking to kick, bleep, take names. There have been technicals called on NC State in each of their first 3 games. Last night, by the way, they won. They scored over 100 points again. They're averaging 106 points per game through 3 games. They only allowed 64 to UNC Greensboro. So it was a box score good game for NC State, and we'll get to that in a second. There have been technicals called on NC State in each of their first 3 games. I keep coming back to it because it's absolutely hilarious to me. They've won them all handily. They got a technical while ahead 55 points in a game. They won that last night, whatever, you can do the on-air math, 110-64. They got a technical and a player ejected in the first 5 minutes. They're playing a mid-major in-state opponent, in which case most programs are just like, we're happy to be celebrating basketball in the state. We're looking forward to getting better and learning about ourselves. No, they showed up and in the first 5 minutes had somebody ejected. And not like just anybody. A guy that had it was his 110th college start last night, Trey Holloman. 110.
Yeah, the starting guard you brought him from Michigan State.
He was ejected, and the refs, you can agree or disagree with the refs. It was 100% a ref show again last night, which has happened in like 2/3 of the college basketball games I've watched this season. Trey Holloman, according to the pool report, the little report you get at the end from the refs, he was given a flagrant 2, which comes with an ejection, because he, quote, reached through and slapped an opposing player in the face. Now, I watched a couple different views of it on social media videos. It's hard to say. You can decide what you want. But the nuts and bolts of it are, Paul McNeil shot a 3. He was fouled. There's maybe a player stepping over him. A couple of his teammates ran over. Kadir Copeland, Trey Holloman. Suddenly, the energy in the room rose aggressively. They start pumping up the crowd. There's some, I will take on everybody, some hold me back bros. And the technical was assigned to Kadir Copeland. The as I said, flagrant 2 goes to Trey Holloman, and the crowd is ignited. That's NC State this year. They didn't run over there to say, whoa, 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 let's break it up. They ran over there to say, we're here and we ain't going anywhere. Will Wade didn't take over NC State to say we're a good ACC program. He took over to say we're going to win big, and we're not waiting. I'm excited for the different personalities in the ACC this year, and I can tell you right now, you better be darn sure in your identity when you play NC State, because they'll rattle you to your core. They're going to play better teams than they've played, but I don't anticipate them changing their attitude one bit. That's number 1 in the Big 3 at 3. Let's get to number 2.
Number 2.
Oh, Bill Belichick. Oh, Bill Belichick. Yesterday, and I've said this a few times today, I didn't think it was true. I saw on social media, Bill Belichick, Giants, Bill Belichick, New York Giants, Bill Belichick betting this, New York Giants, and I went, all right. Adam Scheffler, is that who tweeted this out? Is this, Ian, but the I is an L, lowercase L that looks like an I? Is this Lon Rappaport? Who's tweeting this out? What AI or Photoshop? But then this was yesterday, I did some Googling, found DraftKings, found Covers.com. Bill Belichick, as of yesterday, I haven't checked this afternoon, but I'm not making the bet, so I don't have to check. I'm just talking about what it was. Bill Belichick was the second betting favorite to be the next head coach of the New York Football Giants. Only Mike McCarthy had shorter odds of being the next head coach of the New York Giants.
Really?
Think about that. Think about
How long are the odds? Do you remember off the top of your head?
I do. Minus 700 for McCarthy.
Okay.
Or, sorry, plus 700, not minus.
Okay, but say
he's already signed. They're just trying to get some. No, plus 700 for McCarthy, plus 750 for Bill Belichick.
Really? That's very close.
Kafka, who's their interim and their offensive coordinator now, plus 900. And between Belichick and Kafka, so somewhere like 800, was Gruden and Clint Kubiak, the offensive coordinator for Seattle. So there's a bunch kind of close, but Bill Belichick is in the group. Now, I want to be clear here. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen at all. But I didn't think he was going to be the coach of UNC, so I guess I'll leave the door ajar.
Very true.
I think they're going to want an offensive mind to grow with Jackson Dart and Malik Neighbors, and he's probably too old to talk about growing with young players, and he's a defensive guy. But do you see what a month of good defense can do? A month of good defense against, for the most part, bottom of the barrel ACC teams, and suddenly not only is he not already negotiating his buyout, but he's one of the names being floated for the New York Giants. If there's a lesson here, the lesson is no matter what you have in negative press, win a couple of games and people will completely forget, no matter what's going on. Suddenly, where are the jokes about his girlfriend? Right? Where's the he should go retire? Where'd it go? Oh, it went away as soon as he held Syracuse to 10 points. Went away as soon as Stanford couldn't move the ball. Now he's just a good, hard-nosed football coach that'll rein in all those youngsters on the Giants. I'm not betting on it. I don't think it'll happen. But it's good for recruiting that the NFL is at least somehow related to Bill Belichick again, because, you have a clap back for when everybody says the game has moved on from you, right? When some recruit is like, I don't know, so-and-so said this about you, get to go, well, check the odds on the Giants head coaching job. I don't see anyone else in the ACC there. We're the ones that the NFL still respects. I still think that plays. That's number 2 in the Big 3 at 3. Let's hit number 3.
Number 3.
The Carolina Panthers practicing today. Dennis, do we have a injury report, availability report for today?
So Lathan Ransom, who had the injury, a cut on his hand, he had surgery a couple days ago on it to repair that. It doesn't look like he's out at practice today. Also, Trevin Wallace dealing with a shoulder injury. Dave Canales already said that he's actually going to be out this coming week, the starting off-ball linebacker. But good news, Rico Dowdle, who missed practice yesterday, just a rest day as he's still dealing with a quad injury, back on the field practicing today, which is a good sign.
I've said this about Rico Dowdle. I'll say it one more time. Whatever it takes to make him available and ready for 25 touches on Sunday.
Yep.
If he has to watch practice from a cryogenic chamber, you wheel that cryogenic chamber right out to the practice squad sideline. And that's no disrespect to Chuba saying, oh, good. No, it's just he's been really good as a workhorse. And if he has to take Wednesdays off, you give him Wednesdays off. And that's true of football at every level, by the way. If somebody plays a particularly aggressive and physical game day, you don't want him playing, doing anything extra to add to the time it would take for him to be back to 100%. It's the way it's got to be. The Trevin Wallace absence, I think, matters just because of consistency, and he's been the play caller, the green dot as they call it with the radio. So it'll be a different voice out there for a defense that has been playing well, but I don't think the strength of this defense has been the off-ball backers anyway. So if you've been covering for that a bit, keep covering for it. Make Claudin Chairless's job as easy as possible. And the way you do that is by having a Derek Brown be as dominant as he is and eating up blocks and having the secondary guard exceptionally well and give those linebackers time to do everything they need to do on pass plays. There are, I think we did this preseason. I don't remember what the actual list was. 10 players, right, that we had to pick that would be the most crucial, that if you lost them with injuries, they'd be the biggest catastrophes. No disrespect to Trevin Wallace. I don't think he was high on that list. So at this point in the season, if he's the one you're really working to replace, I think you're doing all right.
So one thing to keep in mind is that Christian Roseboom handled that responsibility at the beginning of the season. Then they flipped roles. So Canales did allude to yesterday that Rose Boone will probably resume the duty of being, so which does impact his play, obviously, a little bit, because I felt like his play improved a lot when he and Trevor Wallace had their roles flipped. So, again, all things to kind of take into consideration.
Another thing to keep in consideration for the Panthers, and I'll bring this up a few times throughout the show, Tankathon is a website that tracks records and schedules and everything. From a winning percentage standpoint, Panthers have the toughest strength of schedule remaining. Like number one. Not in the division, not in the conference. More difficult than anyone else in the NFL. So if Claudin Chairless is in there and Rose Boone's calling the plays, they better be ready to roll because things don't get easier from here. They actually get, outside of actually the Falcons game, really, and they do have the Saints one more time. They play a really tough schedule down the stretch. So don't put Band-Aids on. You better find real fixes if something needs to be fixed. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan on a Thursday. We talked a little bit about that NC State win over UNCG, but there was not enough time to get to all the nitty-gritty details, including 2 separate career highs from a couple of their scores. Stick around.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
Waking up, getting ready, sitting in traffic. Let's face it, getting to work in the morning is a lot of work. But when you get a great deal on your favorite McDonald's coffee, becoming a morning person is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Now get any size refreshingly cold iced coffee for $1, a delicious mocha for $2, and a frappe for $3. Available only during breakfast hours. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
3 days grace. Alien Nation Tour. Adam Gontier returns alongside Matt Walst, live. March 17th, Lenovo Center, Raleigh. With special guests, I Prevail and The Funeral Portrait. Get tickets Friday at LiveNation.com. 3 days grace in concert. Presented by Live Nation.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic, made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. I think it's maybe a hint early to do what I'm about to do, but I'm excited, so I'm going to do it anyway. I think it's fair to say what Will Wade has promised, State's going to deliver. And that comes from a basketball standpoint. I think they're going to be, and I've said this since the preseason, one of the better teams in the ACC, which is part of what he promised. But also the Red Reckoning, this idea or brashness that comes with, we don't care if you like it or not. We're gonna be us. We're gonna do us. We know we're good enough to back it up. I think it's coming. They've played 3 games. They've won them all by a bundle. They beat UNC Greensboro yesterday. They scored 110 points in the game. They're averaging through 3 games 106 points. That is the highest in the ACC, including Louisville, who I think Louisville has every player in their NIL contract says if you have the ball and there's at least 10 seconds have gone off the shot clock, you have to shoot a 3. And somehow NC State averages 4 more points per game than them. But here's the thing about the Will Wade, and maybe Dennis, maybe you can help me out with this. I've been struggling to find the word for what like it's not shtick, right? It's not like the Will Wade shtick because it feels more authentic than that.
Yeah, it's not a bit.
Yeah, exactly. But it is like aura, vibe, maybe culture. I don't know what it is.
I think it's his demeanor.
Demeanor of the program. It's like the program's demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit of bad boy there. Like, right? There's a bit of we're okay being the villain. We don't see ourselves as the villain. If you see it that way, cool. We're not going to change to make you comfortable.
A little anti-hero vibe.
Yes, exactly. That works in sports. I think it works particularly well in a game like yesterday. Because if you are all in on nobody likes us, who cares? Everybody's rooting for the other team, who cares? Us against the world, they don't like us, who cares? When you're all in on that and say you get a ref show, right? You get a ref that's you don't feel being fair, right? And after the game, Will Wade challenged the reporters to find any game in college basketball in the last 10 years where somebody outscores the opponent in the paint by as much as NC State outscored UNCG in the paint last night, and also had 18 fewer free throws or more. Because that's what happened, right? They outscored, I think it was 30. They outscored UNCG in the paint by 30, and they had 18 fewer free throws than UNCG. And he challenged them. He said, find another game like that with those parameters, I'll buy you dinner. Like, they didn't feel the game was being called the way it should. And they weren't afraid to say it. But when it's already us against the world, when it's already nobody likes us, everybody loves those other brands in the ACC, everybody wants to hype them up, well, then when the refs aren't going your way, you already have the built-in culture for it, the built-in demeanor, right? No, they're not calling it fair, but of course not. It's us against the world, and they're not us. We've seen it work in sports. But do you know what the key is to every demeanor? You have to be good. You have to have the talent. And then I think culture can amplify that, right? We were just talking about Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick with the Patriots, all that do your job. It works as long as you also have Tom Brady and Teddy Bruschi and McGinnis and Gronk and Light and all of these guys. Then the culture can make it all come together, but you need the dudes. Same is true for the bad boys, right? The two examples I've been using for this conversation, the U, right? Miami, late 80s, early 90s. Like, yeah, you know what? You can take penalties, who cares? And you can wear Catholics versus convicts shirts, and you can have your coach talking trash in the media, as long as you also have like Vinny Testaverde and Gino Torretta, and you also have a team of just absolute athletes on defense.
Yeah, you got Michael Irvin out there.
You got Michael Irvin
and
just on and Ray Lewis and on and on and on and on. You got The Rock like on third string. Like, as long as you have that, yeah, you can be brash and it can work. And you can take that to national championships. But you got to have the dudes. Or else you're just like a cocky, arrogant 2-8 team. Like,
otherwise you're just loud.
Yeah, otherwise you're a pest, right? So State obviously is bought into this swagger, right? This aura, this demeanor. But, like, you can't just be Lambeer, you know what I mean, for the Bad Boys Pistons. You can't just be clotheslining guys as they drive to the bucket. You also have to have Isaiah Thomas, maybe the second best point guard to ever play the game. Like, you also have to have the one who's like, yeah, once you rattle them, I'll beat them. You know what I mean? So let's look at NC State last night. Within the first 5 minutes. Your veteran brought in to steady the ship point guard, Trey Holloman, is ejected from the game. Darian Williams put up 32 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals, and did all of that on 18 shots. He went 6 of 8 from 3. Paul McNeil scored 27 points, a career high. That's the backing up part of it, right? Because if you needed Trey Holloman and he gets ejected in the first 5 minutes, then you can't even run over and get in the dust up, right? You're too valuable. We got to protect you. We can't be the like Kadir Copeland and Trey Holloman got the crowd jumping 5 minutes into the game, and at the cost of it, they got a technical and ejected. If that was bigger than the energy, like if the risk reward there didn't add up, that'd be a hugely bad play. But instead, State and Darian Williams and that squad won by $1 billion anyway. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing it in the ACC. I think you're going to need your horses. You're going to need your starters in the ACC. But there's something about, like those old Miami teams taking back-to-back personal foul penalties to make it, 2nd and 33, and then throwing a 35-yard pass on the next play and going, didn't hurt us, did it? By the way, Paul McNeil has to be just the best surprise ever for Will Wade. He took over NC State. I have to imagine the plan was just turn the roster over, right? Have real honest conversations with everyone on the roster about what their plan was and how they probably weren't a part of it. He decided to keep the 9th leading scorer from last year's NC State team. The 9th leading scorer from the team that got the previous coach fired less than a year after being in the Final Four. The 9th leading scorer scored 27 points last night. That's got to be just finding, that's not one prize at the bottom of the cereal box. That's like finding car keys at the bottom of a cereal box. It's like, did I really just win a Porsche? Yep. Found it right there in the mix, didn't you? The talent is what's going to make it a huge success or not. The culture is what's going to set them up to rattle, I think, some established teams for the rest of the year.
Yeah, you mentioned Paul McNeil, again, the carryover from last year, just how young that guy is, but also here's another young guy, Matt Abel, a freshman. Like, there's, as much as we talk about Darian Williams and some of these other guys that transferred in, it's a couple of homegrown guys for NC State basketball that are really being massive contributors early on the season, which going into the year, we didn't really know what to expect from either of those guys.
And those are the two that your imagination can run away with.
Yeah.
Right? Darian Williams, he scored 32 and 10 last night. We knew he's one of the 10, 15 best players in the country.
Yeah.
Maybe better. Kadir Copeland being a pest on defense. You and I watched him courtside play for Syracuse 2 years ago in the ACC tournament.
Against State.
He was a pest.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of these guys, we know what they are. Paul McNeil and Matt Abel, they're the ones who it's like, wait a second, could they be 250% of what we thought they were? Could they be the ones that are good now but improve a lot over the course of a year and make this team go from, I think they could be a top 4 or 5 team in the ACC, to, are they a top 4 or 5 team in the country? Could they be a Final Four contender? I think a lot of the improvement comes from chemistry, attitude, and potentially these young guys growing up, right? I saw the Texans coach, D'Amico Ryans, today, talking about, because they have a busy rookie class, right? I think their running backs are rookie, Woody Marks. They have a couple of rookie wide receivers, a rookie offensive tackle, and he was basically like, guess what? We took the rookie nameplate off this week. Like, you're what, 10, 11 weeks into your career? Like, you're a second-year player now. If by the time you're looking at Matt Abel and saying, all right, you're not a freshman anymore, right? You played 25 games. All right, McNeil, you're no longer that second-year player that didn't play much last year. You're now a vet. If by the time they get there, they're playing much better, watch out. And I do want to point out that at the beginning I said it might be a little early for this conversation, but it's fun, right? 3 games in, are we already doing this? Yeah. Yeah, we are. You average 106 through 3 games, you're going to get some hyperbole. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan. And don't forget to call Miller Lending when you're in the market for a mortgage. Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. When you're in the market for a mortgage, that could be any time. I know, and I talk about, right, timing is everything. I wish we could all wait till rates were low. I wish we could. I wish we could all have a time machine. Could go back to like 4 or 5 years ago when they were in the 2s. Unfortunately, time machines don't exist to my knowledge yet, so you have to deal with what's real. right? Job moves you. You need to upsize, downsize. You're finally ready to buy a house. You don't want to wait. The timing can't always be chosen. The market is what the market is. If rates are higher than you want, how about this? Call Miller Lending, get a no closing cost loan, save yourself all that cash in closing costs and fees. Use that to help you out with the slightly higher monthly payment than you were hoping for, and be prepared if and or when rates drop a little bit to get a no closing cost refi, lower that monthly payment. Do that again and again and again as many times as rates drop. You could set yourself up to eventually have the rate of your dreams, if not right now. At least you know if the market cooperates, you'll be there to take advantage of it. So give them a call, Miller Lending. The number is, which, by the way, locally owned, so when you call, you're talking to somebody right here in the Triangle. The number is 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. Or you can visit them online at millerlending.com. Once again, that's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equalizing lender, and MLS number 250-2146. We'll take a break. Next, the Dean's List. Don't go anywhere.
Is your whole home operating at peak performance? With Newcomb & Company, your independent Trane dealer, proudly serving our community for over 70 years. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs, including repairs and replacements for faucets, toilets, piping, garbage disposals, water heaters, drain cleaning, and more. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
It's bow time. Fumbling the food on game day? Rookie move. But you know Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy, scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you can say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's bow time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's bow time.
We know exactly what you're not thinking about right now. Wiper blades. But now that you are, take a moment to think about how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America. Why? Because Rain-X thinks about wiper blades all the time. We obsess, so you don't have to. Simply install our blades and then think about literally anything else. So choose Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blades, and then go back to not thinking about wiper blades. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
As here's Ame Sarr in the front court. Kicks it back up top. Evans again. Got it again. Oh, he's on a heater. His 4-3. He's got 12. And the lead grows to 5.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. One more time, and it's not the last time, but it is one more time. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan. That way you can listen to live stream from all over the world. You can find our clips from this show, other shows, podcasts, whatever team you're looking for. If it's a local team, there's a good chance we produce a ton of content about it. 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. Please subscribe. Jump in the comments. Mix it up with the other listeners. I think it's a pretty fun community. With that being said, it is time right now for the Dean's List. All right, Dean's List, honoring those in the college sports world that we hold so near and dear, especially those that maybe go under the radar a little bit, which I think our Dean's List and the Joe Moore Award share a goal. They share a spirit. Because you know what the Joe Moore Award honors?
I don't.
The best offensive line units in the country across college football. right? Talk about underrated, deserve more accolades than they get, right? They often do all the dirty work, and then the fantasy football positions get all the love and the trophies, right? When's the last time you heard of an offensive guard winning the Heisman?
They should.
Doesn't happen, right? The Joe Moore Award goes to the top offensive line units. And for this year, they just whittled it down a bit. They just chopped it down to the top 10. They're calling them semifinalists. Duke's offensive line is on the list. Duke's offensive line, one of the top 10, one of the finalists for the Joe Moore Award going to the best offensive line unit. And you know we have a rule here that if you're added to a list, make a semifinalist, you automatically are on the Dean's List. So Duke offensive linemen on the Dean's List. As far as other ACC teams go, Georgia Tech's offensive line also made the list, and that's it. Take that how you want to take that. More Dean's List. Speaking of ACC pride, Hannah Hidalgo, Notre Dame women's basketball player.
All right.
Notre Dame beat Akron 85-58 last night. Little, it's a palindrome, 85-58. Hidalgo put up, this is not an exaggeration, one of the craziest box score stat lines I've ever seen in any sport. She scored 44 points by herself, right? Like, it's not a combo. 44 points for Hannah Hidalgo, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and an NCAA single-game women's basketball record, 16 steals.
I'm sorry, how many steals?
16, as in 1 more than 15, 4 away from 20.
Not like she had 1 steal in the first half and 6 in the second half, and they just decided to do that.
16 steals.
16? Good Lord.
The team had like 30-something, so Akron was giving it up. But 16 steals for Hannah Hidalgo. And
eventually, stop throwing the ball in her general direction.
Yeah, it's becomes like keep away.
Real,
Just where when she walks towards you, you throw it to somebody else real quick. It's like it becomes like a really good cornerback, right? We just stop targeting it over there. We throw it to the other side of the field. And part of the reason on the Dean's List is this: Hannah Hidalgo is lighting it up. Okay, right there, that stat line, bananas. Notre Dame in the AP poll is the 4th highest ranked women's basketball team in the ACC. Do you know which 3 teams are above Notre Dame? All 3 teams in the triangle. So even 16 steals herself, even Miss 44 points Hidalgo herself, still finds them looking up at all 3 teams in the triangle in the AP poll. Take that. How you like me now? Dennis, do you have any Dean's Listers you like to throw out?
I do. ACC women's soccer. The field of 64 was announced for the NCAA tournament for women's soccer. You know, 3 of the top 4 seeds, ACC schools.
There we go.
That's right. Virginia, Notre Dame, Stanford, all 1 seeds in the tournament. Duke also a number 2 seed in there. In total, 9 ACC soccer programs in it. I think it's also really cool as well. I'm going to throw Elon women's soccer into the mix as well. They're actually playing Duke in the first round.
Oh.
So, yeah, like a little, just right down I-85, or I-40 in this case. Whether they run together at that point.
Turned into a GPS there for a second.
Exactly.
Exit in 2 miles.
Ways over here. But, yeah, so it's cool. That's, another state of North Carolina, or another school here in the state of North Carolina. But Virginia, Stanford, Notre Dame, all 1 seed. Duke is in it. UNC is in it. Elon from the state of North Carolina is in it. Wake Forest is in it as well on the women's side.
Nice.
So, yeah, 4 schools in the state of North Carolina made it.
I like it. More Dean's List. Pat Kelsey, Louisville head coach.
Okay.
This is partially poking a little fun, but when you're celebrating a big win, you're ultimately the winner. So Louisville beat Kentucky.
They did.
Big win. I believe it's his first win over Kentucky. He's only been there. This is his 2nd year. He was a little late to media after the win. He had a little celebration injury. He
oh no,
jammed up his finger pretty good. Had to get a splint on it. Had to tape it to the other finger.
That's funny.
Because the assistant coaches got a little rowdy with the celebration, and he ended up hurting his finger. You know it's a good celebration when you got to go to the trainers. Be like, my finger's pointing the wrong way.
Who is it? was it Martin Gramatica, the kicker, years ago? I think it was kicking for Arizona Cardinals at the time. Was celebrating a long field goal, jumps up in the air, comes down awkward, tears his ACL.
That's a famous one. Gus Frerotte famously hurt his neck, I think, headbutting the wall after scoring a rushing touchdown.
I actually remember watching that game.
Bam! Oh, like that's if you hurt yourself celebrating. First of all, probably not the most athletic thing. Second of all, if you're the coach, it's just good laughs. So Pat Kelsey makes it. And final member of the Dean's List for me today, Nathaniel Salmon or Salmon. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Salmon. I sent you an article about him a couple weeks ago, Dennis.
Okay.
Tight end Nathaniel Salmon or Salmon will take an official visit to UNC on November 18th, so 5 days from now.
Okay.
I don't know how he's doing it. I don't know who he's convinced. Nathaniel is a former professional basketball player who has also already attended Los Angeles Chargers minicamp. So in a weird way, he's been a professional basketball and a professional football player already, and now is touring the country on official visits to be a college football player next year. I don't understand how he's eligible, but I guess more power to you. He entered into the International Player Pathway Program for the NFL and, participated in a Chargers minicamp. There are pictures, Chargers gear, helmet, practice jersey, running around, catching passes. I guess he didn't make the Chargers, so now he gets to go perhaps play for UNC? I don't know what's going on here. Eligibility makes no sense to me, but I guess credit to Nathaniel for finding the loophole.
I was talking about him in the press box of the Panthers game on Sunday to a couple of people that are pretty plugged in the sports world, both collegiate and pro. And they determined was, you know what? The NCAA is trying to avoid lawsuits, but they also probably thinking of it as, well, he never actually signed a contract with a pro team here in the United States, that it's not really that dissimilar than like a Luka Bogovac coming over that played professional internationally and is coming over to North Carolina. It's no different than now what you're seeing players that might go through G League Ignite that are now eligible to play college basketball. They're like, you know what? We're trying to avoid lawsuits, so let's just go ahead and smooth it over because the NCAA is just trying not to deal with it.
I just have one, and maybe this is the Pandora's box that nobody wants to open. What's stopping somebody from being drafted, not liking where they were drafted, not signing, and saying, I want to go back to college?
Yeah. I mean, if you don't sign with an agent or something like that, yeah, that's...
Well, you have agents. Just sign with your NIL agent.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know, because there's that cutoff that they always have for draft eligible.
I know, but I'm saying, how is that different than going to a minicamp?
I remember years ago, Maurice Claret challenged trying to go pro earlier.
And Mike Williams from USC did as well. They at the same time, and it failed miserably in court, and they neither of them had excellent outcomes. But I don't. It's just once you're letting G leaguers and former professional players and minicamp participants go and play college, how do you? I feel like now the precedent is different than it was back then when you couldn't do any of that. Either way, perhaps the Tar Heels will get a professional quality athlete. And I know that because he was a professional athlete joining their team as I don't know. And the other thing that's funny about, sorry, I'm now ranting. That's funny about these G Leaguers and these European professionals coming over and playing in college. It seems like they just make up how much eligibility they should have left. Some of them come over and they're like, and he'll have 2 years of eligibility.
Yeah.
Some of them, he'll have 3. I'm just like, how do you... Never mind.
By the way, I actually, real quick, I know you're about to go to break.
No, go ahead.
But I did miss one. I did say 4 schools when I mentioned for the Dean's List here. Programs from the state of North Carolina that made it to the NCAA soccer tournament for women's soccer. I said 4. I was wrong. It's 5. I missed High Point, so my apologies.
Oh.
So North Carolina makes it, Duke makes it, Elon makes it, Wake Forest makes it, and High Point makes it.
No disrespect intended to High Point University.
Yes, the High Point Panthers. And they get 1 seed in Virginia in the first round.
Tough break. Tough break.
Good luck.
Enjoy the bus ride there. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Mainer Service Company. I haven't been outside much today, but I assume that it's been cold, hot, may have rained, probably overcast, windy, because that's what it is in North Carolina this time of year. You get a little bit of everything. What does that mean? That means you're working the air conditioner, means you're working the heater, means you want to stay inside, means you want to go outside, means you want to do a little bit of everything. And if you're doing that, you want to double-check those systems, right? You want to make sure your heater is working as efficiently as possible. Your cooling is working as efficiently as possible. Your plumbing, your electrical, run it all. Mainer Service Company wants to help you out to make sure it's all running as efficiently as possible. Do you know why? Because it saves you money in the long run. You don't realize how much more energy it goes to run an HVAC, one of those big systems that runs your entire house. If it's not working efficiently, you're just burning energy that you don't have to. Mainer Service Company can come check it out, do some maintenance, get some service done, save you money in the long run, or even more so, potentially find those signs of something big coming up later, right? The big breakdowns that are going to cost you thousands and thousands. Could just be a little fix now. Boom, you're good. Mainer Service Company, give them a call. 919-361-0993. They service the entire triangle. That's all of Wake County and 50 miles in any direction. And for your emergencies, right, when you start hearing leaks in the middle of the night, or when it's 20 degrees outside and the heater's done in the middle of the night, they have 24/7 service all across the triangle. Again, the phone number, 919-361-0993, or you can visit them online at MainerServices.com. That's MAYNOR Services.com. When we come back, a conversation that I've waited a year to finish. Stick around.
Here's Megan with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Are sleepless nights affecting your life? Parkway Sleep Health Centers can help. We've treated sleep disorders in the Triangle and beyond for over 20 years. We offer sleep studies, office visits, CPAP machines, supplies, and more. And our streamlined process allows us to see you sooner and usually saves hundreds of dollars.
End sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep. Sound health.
What's better than being at the game? Table service with terrific food and drink specials and every available Canes game broadcast. That's hockey at the Dugout Tavern and Grill in Apex, an official member of the Canes Bar Network. Watch all available hockey games on our huge 16-foot video wall, plus over 30 more big screen 4K TVs inside and on our all-weather patio. Stick around for late night buy one get one half off appetizers from 9 to 11 at the Dugout, 1413 Kelly Road, Apex.
What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate down to 4.99% APR? Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days. Pay off all those high-interest credit cards and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. One call, life changed. There's no wait, no hard credit pull up front. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates are at a 3-year low. Act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto, A+ rated with a BBB and nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171 on approved credit. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Come see Atlantic Spas and Billiards' brand new showroom. More wellness to experience with state-of-the-art Tilo saunas to see, more hot spring and Caldera hot tubs to sit in, and a full-service billiard and dart pro shop. Shop for awesome holiday gift ideas from grills to game tables. Outdoor recreation takes center stage with ping pong, foosball, pool tables, and more. Remodeling floor models and demos available for great pricing. Shop now and experience the beautiful brand new showroom, Atlantic Spas and Billiards, Glenwood Avenue, Raleigh, AtlanticSBNC.com.
Blake going to take advantage of a miscue shot right on. Rebounds available. They score! Nikolai Ehlers stays with the play. This one back for Leonard. That goes off the boards. Anderson gets across on McMichael.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan.
A little glitch in the system again.
Ah, it's all good. Just more time to talk Canes, right? We
Exactly.
gotta listen to music. We need to talk Canes.
Hey, you know, a couple nights ago was a little glitch. A little glitch.
It's a nice way to think about it.
Yeah.
Just a glitch in the system, a little deja vu, glitch in the matrix. But there was a part of that game on Tuesday that I think many people enjoyed. Many Canes fans thought, good. That'd be the Logan Stankoven fight. And here's where this conversation is going to start. It started over a year ago. So I filled in on the Adam Gold Show earlier today. Hopefully some of you were listening and enjoyed it. If you did, thank you. But the reason why I bring it up is in preparation for the Adam Gold Show, I had to go find the schedule, right? When do we take breaks and that kind of stuff. And the only place that I had it on my computer was in my notes for previous shows that I filled in for Adam Gold. So I just went back, found one of my old notes, grabbed it, and figured I'll erase all of the topics out of that note, and I can start over for today. And as I was doing that, right, I had to sort through some riffraff. Right there was, what Adam Thielen needs to do on third down. I don't know. There's like stuff from last year, and there was one topic labeled Canes Edge. And I went, that's interesting. Let me see what I have in my notes here. And basically, a year ago today, and that wasn't even exactly today, I'd call it 11 months-ish ago, I co-hosted, or I filled in hosting the Adam Gold Show, and I was pleading. My notes made it look like I was very desperate. I was begging for more aggression and edge and sandpaper, whatever you want to call it, from the Carolina Hurricanes, right? And I had all the same things I've said about them in the past. Things like they seem very nice. Things like I actually think it's they're good people, but you need the other guys too, right? The way I had it in my notes, and it wasn't my quote, but it's a quote I do enjoy. You're not going to win with a team full of milk drinkers. Somebody's got to drink whiskey. You know what I mean? And that's what I was calling for the Canes last year. And then, you get to the postseason. You go up against the Florida Panthers in the Eastern Conference Finals. Did feel like they needed a few whiskey drinkers, you know what I mean? So then this offseason goes, they add Ehlers, they add Miller, they do some flipping and some flopping, they brought in Stankoven at the deadline, and coming into this year, I thought it would be a good conversation now. We kind of, I think we've had enough games to get a feel, a little gist for the Carolina Hurricanes this year. They're by no means a finished product, but we can have our first reactions, our first impressions. Did they have more edge? Or could I have, on the Adam Gold Show today and right here on the drive today, could I have taken those same notes and run it back? Do they have more edge? And part of the reason I thought it was a good time to bring it up is, it's been like a week, and they've had fights from Jordan Stahl. They've had fights from Logan Stankoven. They've had some big hits from Alexander Nikishin. Kokiniemi's landed a couple. Like, is it different than it was last year from how much other teams think they can pick on the Carolina Hurricanes? Because that's the gamesmanship of those types of things, right? If at no point in time an opposing player has to pay a consequence for bullying your team, they're just going to keep bullying, right? They're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep pushing you around. And I think that was the best part of the Tuesday game. By the way, like, standing up for Freddie is good, right? If anyone makes any kind of contact with your goalie, if you're on the ice, you pretty much got to skate over there and at least make sure it was on the up and up and everything's cool. But as soon as Stankoven saw a little extra juice going towards Blake, he jumped in there, made him pay a consequence, landed a couple rights. And I said this yesterday, but I'll say it again. He landed 2 or 3 like movie punches. They looked like they were choreographed by Sylvester Stallone. Just like, cock it way back, arcing, like, he's going to have a picture of him with that in his man cave one day, because it's a real manly picture, a little blood on his face, real cool dude, Logan Stankoven. So I'll put this to you, Dennis. Do you think this year's Canes team is less likely to be seen as, oh, we can bully them by other teams around the NHL compared to last year.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I
agree.
Keep in mind, they didn't add any enforcer. Like, trust me, Nikolai Ehlers isn't striking fear in opponents. Keandre Miller is a big dude, but he's not seen as the most physical guy in the world. And Nikishin, who has been very physical between the whistles, hasn't been the one dropping the gloves or doing all that kind of stuff.
Oh, I think Nikishin in that sense I think he's actually been smart, knowing that he's like, I can't afford to be in the box for a long period of time, especially the way the NHL, sometimes the way they enforce with minutes with fighting, if you're instigating penalties and those kinds of things. So that actually sometimes can be a deterrent. But nonetheless, I think there's a level of grit and physicality on the defensive side of things that we didn't quite have last year. Again, Nikishin being a big factor into that. And I think also as well is that as younger guys like Blake and Stankoven get older, I think they're understanding more what it takes to win consistently at the NHL level and even in the postseason now that they've experienced it. So I think you're going to get a little bit more of that as the season goes along from those guys. I mean, heck, Stankoven never even had a fight in his entire life, he said.
Looked like he had imagined it. He's run that one in his brain a few times.
You know what? And he looked like, for a guy his size holding his own, it's like, but we also saw him last year in the postseason against Washington when Tom Wilson, the big bad goo, decided to get in his face. He didn't back down from it. And now he's like, I'll drop him. I don't care. That's, again, you're going to earn a lot of respect from guys in that regard.
And this is, I think it's hard to describe. So I'll do my best here. And it's my second try. I tried on the Adam Gold Show earlier today. I'm going to try it again. Jordan Staal getting in a fight and Logan Stankoven getting in a fight. That is super old guy, super young guy, 6'4", 220, 5'8", 165. Like,
your stoic captain,
fiery second line center. Like, it's complete ends of the spectrum in a lot of ways. And I think it shows that, like, everybody in that locker room understands it's not anyone's role, like solely their role, to be tough. It's everyone's role to be tough. And then once that guy does it, we have to go back him up, right? And if he starts a fight, I'm in, right? If he does something, I don't care if he's right or wrong. I got his back because he's one of us. And it brings me to, I think the only way to describe it is to use like a stereotype. Any NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, NHL player, any team sport professional athlete at the end of their career, and let's say for this story, 15-year plus, right? Grizzled veteran, been through it, been injured, played for 4 or 5 different teams, but won a championship or two, right? They reached the summit. At the end of their career, maybe a retirement press conference. Maybe they signed a one-day to retire with the team they won a championship with. If you ask them what was different about the championship team than the 14 other teams you played on, I don't think majority, the stereotype answer, you're not going to get, well, that was the year we had the most team speed. Like, you're not going to get, well, actually, that was the year we had our best third line scorers. Like, you don't get the X's and O's, right? What you get is, man, there's something special about that team in the locker room. Man, we were inseparable. We loved hanging out. We cared about each other. We didn't like everybody, but we knew we had each other's back. Like, you get that type of answer. I'm not saying the Canes are all the way there, but I think they're closer, right? And the only way you can truly find out is in the postseason, is if you're all the way there. But it's I don't want to, when your non-fighters feel compelled to fight for another teammate, you don't do that if you don't like the guy, right? You don't do that if you don't care about the guy. You don't do that if he's not putting the work in. You don't, like, if somebody is half stepping everything and showing up late to workouts and, they take a dirty hit, you kind of go, I'll help you up, but I'm not going to go get my face pummeled for you. When everyone respects everyone in that locker room is when you're willing to risk it. So I do think they're tougher. I don't know if they're physically tougher. I don't know if anyone out there has got a more iron chin than they had last year. But I think there's something else going on there that makes it so I don't want to run back this same segment I did last year about Canes not having edge. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, I do have a opportunity for you guys to win some concert tickets. Visit 999thefan.com or the 99.9 The Fan app, which you can download Google Play or App Store, and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see 3 Days Grace with special guests I Prevail and the Funeral Portrait at the Lenovo Center on March 17th. Again, 99.9 The Fan, the app, or 999thefan.com to enter to win some tickets. Football at 4 is coming up next. I will stand up for a position on the Carolina Panthers and defend their honor. Next.
Hello, I'm John Heister for John Heister Chevrolet in Fuquay Arena. You know, people are asking us, how are you selling so many cars all of a sudden? Well, did you know that the Beltline has opened up the outer loop? We're only 28 minutes from Knightdale. We're only 19 minutes from Clayton and 15 minutes from Apex. We're now the most convenient Chevrolet dealership to reach in the Triangle. It's just one more reason to get off your keister and come to Heister.
Now at John Heister Chevrolet, get up to $14,000 off a new 2025 Silverado 1500. Includes trade assistance. See dealer for details. Together, let's drive.
Genie log, day 15,824. The Mega Millions jackpot is over $900 million now. I'll be stuck in this little lamp forever with nothing but all this stupid gold and rare gems. A gold-plated motorcycle? Sure does a lot of good when you live in a 10x10 magic lamp. Come find me. I'm at latitude 36.06.
Grant your own wishes. The Mega Millions jackpot is over $900 million. Must be 18 to play. Approximate jackpot odds are 1 in 291 million. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. It's a pretty afternoon out there. Partly cloudy skies, highs in the mid-60s. A dry day today, and that continues into the weekend. Temperatures will also climb, but tomorrow morning's going to be on the chilly side, upper 30s. Tomorrow afternoon, 67, but highs will be in the 70s over the weekend.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell today down 797 points to 47,456.
Let's move the chains. Time for Football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Carolina Panthers had a rough game this past week. They're looking to bounce back on the right track against the Falcons. There is quite a bit of discourse, some might say quite a bit of disagreement, on what is the best way to get back on that right track against the Atlanta Falcons this weekend. Much of the discourse, much of the disagreement is centered on Bryce Young and the passing game. That's where we sit. Okay, that's where this conversation I would like to start. you can acknowledge that there are multiple people sitting at the blame table, okay? Nobody involved in the passing game is completely without guilt, all right? Matter of fact, let's just start here. The passing game isn't good. All right, we can start even further back. It all started when I was a young boy.
Yeah.
Like, let's start at the very beginning. The passing game is not good.
No lies detected there.
Right now, Bryce Young is averaging 168 yards per game.
Not good.
If you put that over a 17-game schedule, right? If you just times 168 by 17, it's about 2,856. About, roughly. I definitely didn't do this math before we came on air today. I'm just doing that right off the top of my head. 2,856.
No, that's right, actually.
Thank you. I knew it was around there.
Yeah.
I also know this. Last season, no quarterback that played in at least, by the way, exclude Bryce Young. So this is other quarterbacks. No quarterback that played in 14 or more games threw for that few yards. 14 or more. So everyone that missed 3 games or less threw for more, and in many cases, significantly more yards than the pace Bryce Young is on right now. Now, I want to be clear on this. This doesn't mean that there weren't quarterbacks that played as poorly as Bryce is playing right now. I'm saying if you played as poor as Bryce is playing right now, from a pure production standpoint, stats, it's almost impossible to imagine you playing 15 games. You lose your job before that, or something else happens where somebody else ends up playing quarterback for your team. If you're not throwing for 170 yards a game, it's very unlikely that you play 100 or 15 games in a year. Okay? So, using that as the baseline, if the passing game doesn't improve, somebody's losing their job. If you don't throw for more yards, somebody is losing their job. Okay? So now let's take the next step. If the passing game is that bad, and if it stays that bad, somebody is losing their job, who are the options? Well, a passing game is the product of many people's contributions. Quarterback, offensive play caller, pass catchers, offensive line. That's the main 4. So if you have a bad passing game, you can't defend all 4 of those units. You can't say, well, we have a great play caller. The quarterback is so underrated, and you're being mean when you talk down to him. The pass catchers are great. Tetairoa McMillan's my favorite player. The offensive line is unreal. You can't say all 4 are good if you have a bad passing offense. Somebody is not doing their job or doing their job poorly. That's the only way it works, right? So it becomes a like a game of 3-card Monte, right? Where you're moving it and the right, the left, middle. If you are defending Bryce Young, I want you to be clear. Okay, if it's not Bryce's fault, if you're saying he is without fault or he is being wronged somehow, cool. All right, we can disagree, or we can have this conversation. I want to have this conversation. Which of the other 3 are you pinning it on? Or how many of the 3, right? Because it could be multiple. I'm not saying it's just one. If Bryce is being wronged and he's actually this great effective passer who's not being put in the right situation, is the offensive line not playing well enough? Because I actually think the offensive line, based on the injuries they've been dealing with, has been pretty heroic. Do we know who's going to start between Corbett and Zavala?
They haven't said yet.
Yeah, exactly. We're still figuring out who's going to start, and they've been pretty good. They've started 11 guys or whatever it's been. The same starting unit in back-to-back games is it's like a fantasy for them. So I'm not holding the offensive line against them. Is it is it the play caller? How about that? We'll Dave Canales. I think a lot of people are putting it on him, right? A lot of people are putting it on him. Let me ask you this. Dave Canales, his job is to know the offense as well as anybody, right? His main thing all week is to know Bryce Young and know that offense and know what can be successful and know what can't. If he's not putting the ball in the quarterback's hands, he's the one that's supposed to know that. Okay? So if it's a problem, that's cool. Give him his blame. If they're not calling the right pass plays, it's cool. Give him his blame. I'm there. The issue I have is when, to protect Bryce or to protect Dave Canales, you put the wide receivers in the crosshairs, the pass catchers in the crosshairs too aggressively. Because I don't think that's fair. I don't think they are the best unit on the team. I don't think they are the best wide receivers in the league, not by a long stretch. But I think they're good enough to be significantly better than the past game has been. It's not an Adam Thielen thing. I'm seeing that, right? Oh, he was so much better last year when he had Adam Thielen. He may have been better last year. It's not because he had a 35-year-old running, 4.5, 4.6 out there. It's not a drops thing. I went and looked it up. I referenced it earlier this week. According to Pro Football Reference, they have 11 drops. They played 10 games. If the difference between Bryce Young throwing for 285 yards and 140 yards is one drop, did they drop a 180-yard play?
Mm-hmm.
They were going to run up and down the field, back and forth, just gaining yards on that one drop. It's 1.1 drop a game, according to Pro Football Reference.
Yeah, his drop percentage is actually below league average.
It's not drops.
Yeah.
So then I posted that, right? And the immediate response is, because gosh forbid you put a good slice of blame on Bryce, that it was, well, they can't drop it if they're not getting their hands on it. Are they open? So I went and found the separation scores. And again, not the best in the league, not the worst in the league, right in the middle as far as separation when targeted. 3.4 yards. So when targeted, they're open. They're not dropping it at a above average rate. It's not that they're missing the 35-year-old. What's holding them back? If it's not the offensive line, I think I just made a pretty good argument that it's not the wide receivers. Tetairoa McMillan's pretty darn good. Despite the offense that he's in, his numbers are pretty voluminous. And then you throw in, I think they're not getting enough out of Jalen Coker. You throw in Xavier Legette had one target last week? You're blaming the guy that had one target? I don't think he's the best wide receiver in the league. I think you probably should have taken Ladd McConkey with the pick. But if you're only throwing it to him one time, you can't blame him for the lack of production. And when you threw it to him 11 times, he caught 9 of them earlier this year. Remember that? I'm looking around and I'm saying, let's not bend over backwards and twist ourselves into weird contortionist positions to not address what the problem actually is. It's somewhere between play caller and Bryce. And it's hard to differentiate between the two. And if it's the pass catchers, I don't know how we know that. They haven't been given enough opportunities. Because the last point I want to make is the passes that will change this offense, the completions that will change this offense, are inherently low percentage plays. Right? There is no wide receiver on planet Earth. I wish there was. I would like to sign them to whatever team I coach. There are no wide receivers on planet Earth that catch 80% of balls with 30 yards in the air. Those are inherently low percentage plays. Now, if you can catch them 40%, you're great, right? And you keep it's like a 3-pointer, right? You shouldn't shoot them as efficiently as you do a 2-pointer, but you get extra benefits from it. You get another point, right? If you're completing a 5-yard pass, great. You should complete it super high percentage, but you only get 5 yards for it. If you throw it downfield, you can get 10 of those, right? But you're not going to complete it as often. So when there's we threw it deep to Tetairoa McMillan on that one play in the third quarter, wasn't complete. What do you want Bryce to do? I'm going, whoa. You need to throw it deep to him 5 times in a game, and hopefully you catch 2 of them. And then you'll be 80 yards, right? Like if it's two 40-yarders. And it doesn't always have to be to McMillan. It could be to other guys that get behind the defense, but you have to take the chances. And if you don't give your wide receivers multiple chances to make the plays, you can't put it on him because nobody is good enough to catch 100%. Right? Just like you wouldn't take a coach, hire him to run a team, and first loss go, see, told you, couldn't win games. I don't even know why we play. It's like, well, nobody wins 100% of their games. So if you throw a deep ball to McMillan and he gets maybe one hand on it, defensive back hanging over him, and he doesn't make the catch, why did we draft him? Bryce needs him to make that play. I agree. He has to make plays for Bryce, as any receiver does, but he's not going to make 100% of them. Give him another shot. The wide receivers are catching strays, ricochet shots all over the place because the pass game isn't good enough. And yes, they deserve their slice of the pie, but it's amongst the smallest. They're not getting full off their blame pie for why they're throwing for 168 yards per game. Bryce is probably stuffed, and Dave Canales is probably, going full Thanksgiving and undoing the buckle a couple of rungs. They're the ones getting the biggest slice. And they know it. I want to emphasize that as well. You don't become an offensive play caller. You don't become a quarterback without acknowledging, hey, if things go south, I'm going to have to eat this one.
I think one of the biggest things about the pass game is that 10 to 19-yard range is where Bryce Young has struggled this season mightily, that's where you can get the catch and run. That's where you can get some of those, which can loosen up a defense. If the defense knows, hey, look, they can't throw anything past 10 yards on a consistent basis, and the only thing they can do is lean on the run game, well, Tim, what does that do? Brings everyone up, right? Mm-hmm. And it's only going to make things more difficult. I mean, it's exactly what the Saints did. Hey, beat us one-on-one. Like, try and beat us downfield throwing the ball. You ain't going to do it.
And my counter to that is keep trying, right? If they're selling out to stop the run, if you throw it deep and it's incomplete and they sell out further to stop the run or to stop the short pass, you got to keep throwing it until you complete it. There's no, I'll use this as an example, an analogy. I was driving home last night, bunch of traffic on Capitol Boulevard. And I was talking to my mom on the phone. I was like, yeah, I'm sitting here in traffic. And she was like, oh, I wish there was a shortcut. And I was like, well, if there was, I would take it every day, right? If there was another option here, I'm never riding on this road again if there were a shortcut. It would actually probably be the long cut. There'd be so much traffic.
Everyone else would too.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's one way in, one way out. When a defense is playing you that way, there's one way to get them to stop playing you that way. And it's not to keep bashing your head against the wall. It's you got to complete some deep passes. And you have no choice. You can sit there in traffic or you can complete a couple deep passes. That's it. You're on Capitol Boulevard. Took me like twice as long as it normally does to go home.
It happens.
It does.
It does.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have cons and cons coming up. What are you most confident in? What are you most concerned about for some of your favorite teams in college football? Stick around.
The road to college football's national championship runs through 99.9 The Fan. The ACC, the SEC, the biggest matchups will be found here.
The snap is back. The pressure's on. Mendoza throws back to the end zone. Leaping grab. Touchdown! Wow! The Hoosiers take the lead with 36 seconds to go.
College football on The Fan is powered by Wake Med, Roofworks, and Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac GMC in Sanford.
You've seen the postings all over that neighborhood app. People's packages are going missing from their porches this holiday season. But not yours, because you have a home security system from SoundStation and Security. From doorbell cameras to whole home security systems, SoundStation and Security has the largest inventory on the East Coast. And if you're looking for a gift this holiday season but don't really know what to get, we sell gift certificates too. SoundStation and Security with 2 locations in downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Online at myhotsound.com.
Hello, I'm Jen, and I work in the service department with Newcomb & Company in the Triangle. I've worked at Newcomb & Company for over a decade and can tell you firsthand our comfort contract is hands down the best way to stay worry-free and comfortable in your home. In fact, the program works so well, we have over 4,000 customers who use it. Folks love it because when you sign up for the comfort contract, you get the best service Newcomb offers. We prioritize contract members with same-day service, priority scheduling, and emergency after-hours calls. So there's no waiting when your system needs help. On top of that, Newcomb & Company is a proud independent train dealer. We back exceptional train products with our expert service, and we treat your home like it's our own. It's hard to stop a train, and it's hard to beat Newcomb & Company service. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com to learn more about our comfort contract. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
Dauntless Transmissions has been the trusted transmission shop in Raleigh for more than 27 years. But why do they call it Dauntless Transmissions? Well, dauntless means showing fearlessness and determination. Now, the experts at Dauntless Transmission are dauntless when it comes to caring for your vehicle. Whether that means a total transmission rebuild, complex engine or brake service, or just a routine tune-up, your vehicle will be dauntless when they're done with it. Visit dauntlesstransmissions.com. Dauntless Transmissions, your local source for exceptional service.
Gage Diamonds has a secret for creating something stunning, something forever. It's our skilled ring designers. Tell them about your favorite ring styles. Show them your inspirations. Together, you'll make magic. Schedule your in-person or online appointment. Gage specializes in exceptional lab-grown diamonds. Financing available. Visit GageDiamonds.com. We're engagement's middle name.
Fakes a screen, now hits the tunnel screen to June. June out into the open. June down the far sideline, fights off a tackler. June's going to take it to the house. 10-5, touchdown, Carolina. Damon June all the way for 6.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. College football season. Don't look now.
It's almost over.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Happened quick, didn't it?
It did.
Sometimes it's because like the national championship is so far in the future. It feels like college football is going on for a long time, but for a lot of teams, they got like 3 weeks. Right? If you don't get to that 6th win, you're not playing until halfway through bowl season. You're playing through the regular season and you're donezo.
I mean, Thanksgiving's in 2 weeks, and that's a lot of people will end their season then.
So think about that as we head into cons and cons.
But to play great defense, you need one thing above all else.
That starts with a W.
Confidence.
All right, here's the deal, everybody. Cons and cons. What are you most confident in? What are you most concerned about? That's the game. That's the thought exercise. We put different teams into the machine, and we kick out our answers. The teams we will be putting into the cons and cons conversation, the 3 teams in the triangle, ACC football. What are you most confident in? What are you most concerned about each team as we head into that stretch run, that last little bit, that last 3 games? Dennis, which team should we start with?
Let's see. The only team that's actually at home this weekend is Duke, so let's start with Duke. They play Virginia on Saturday.
Beautiful. We have cons and cons, good news and bad news. Which do you want first? You always say bad news. We start with the concerns. I'll lead us off. I didn't think this is where we were going to be this year because I was a big fan of Chandler Rivers. I thought they had a good pass rush. Terry Moore's been hurt at the safety spot, so that one maybe not exactly how we played out. I'm concerned with their pass defense. They're allowing the 2nd highest passer rating in the ACC this year. I think out of respect to Manny Diaz, the defensive mind, have been writing that off as like, he'll figure it out. They'll get it together. He's been doing this too long. He's been too good at it for too long. No, that won't work. But then we talk about, how we started this conversation, right? Like, hey, season's getting close to the end here. And maybe they are what their stats say they are, which would be allowing the 2nd highest passer rating in the ACC of any defense in the ACC. And to be clear, there's some bad defenses in the ACC. So the pass defense, what I'm most, and that I say pass defense more than like secondary, because obviously like pass rush and collapsing the pocket and so many other things go into actually stopping the pass other than just like my corners and safeties. So pass defense, what I'm concerned about for Duke.
My concern for Duke is I feel like their turnovers come in bunches. When they turn the ball over in games, it feels like it's multiple, and that's when they find themselves behind. Look at Illinois. Look at UConn. That's what the 2 of their losses. coming strictly off of that. To me, it's when the turnovers happen, they come in bunches, and that's when they start falling behind in games. It's because of that. You can sometimes get away with one turnover, depending on where it happens on the field, or if the defense holds them to a field goal, whatever it might be. So sometimes you can get away with one, but when it's 2 or 3, and again, they just start to pile up, that's a concern for me.
Dennis, you didn't tell me you played quarterback. You're thinking like a quarterback.
Well, I am. Thinking like a coach.
Not every turnover is the same, Coach. That one on 3rd and long, that's an arm punt.
Yeah.
That doesn't go against my stats. What are you doing here?
Coach, I try to fit one in on 3rd and long.
Coach,
there's 10 seconds left in the half.
There was no reason. There was no harm, no foul. I knew that going in. Take it off my stats, please.
It was a Hail Mary. What do you want me to do?
That's exactly. You're talking like a quarterback now. That one went right through the receiver's hands. That should go on his stats, not mine. You think that one. You don't say that one out loud. Confidence. What are you most confident in when it comes to the Duke Blue Devils football team? This could be a weird time to say this one, but I still believe it. I'm confident in Darian Mensah. He's coming off his worst game, right, against UConn. Speaking of turnovers, some untimely turnovers, like well-placed for UConn. But the thing I've been impressed about with Darian all season is his professional mentality, right, his professional attitude. And pro is pro, right? It's bouncing back from losses. It's having the poise to react to adversity. So, I'm expecting a good bounce back for Duke this weekend from their quarterback.
My confidence is how their run game has evolved from the beginning of the season. Nate Shepard as a freshman has come along really strong. Anderson Castle is a good complementary back. Not that he can't get a feature of the carries, which we've seen him do in some games this season, including the NC State game earlier this year. But I feel like they've got a pretty good group of running backs and that they've found their run game as the season has gone on. It struggled early in the year, which is actually something I saw last year. I thought their run game struggled early, but the fact that you can have a complementary run game to go along with Darian Mensah allows your offense to stay on the field more often.
I agree. That's another thing, but, got to pick one. Next team, where are we going?
Let's see. Kickoffs on Saturday. Let's see. Carolina's a 4:30. NC State's at 3:30. Let's go the early kickoff. NC State, 3:30 kickoff at Miami.
NC State coming off a bye.
Mm-hmm.
We start with concerns. Dennis, why don't you lead this one off?
Concern is pretty simple. Can their defense get off the field consistently? It's one thing, you might make a stop on a couple of drives and things like that, but you can't be consistently giving up 30-plus points and expect to win. Just can't.
Part of me thinks the plan is to just bend but don't break occasionally. Like if you win the 4-point plays a few times, the plays that turn touchdowns into field goals, and your offense scores touchdowns, you might have to live with that with State. My concern, a little abstract, but stick with me, the future.
Go on.
There's an article that came out on CBS Sports.
Okay.
Landscape changing transfer portal targets.
Uh-oh.
CJ Bailey was on the list.
I believe that.
They talk about, hey, he was Jeremiah Smith's high school quarterback. He's playing really well. He's showing all the potential. Not to say that CJ Bailey has done or said anything to make it that I've seen to make it seem like the portal is an option. But I do think with the way their season has gone, including what essentially was a showcase game, the Georgia Tech game, right? That is a highlight film. Big win over a top 10 opponent. Certain players played unbelievably. No coach will want to hear this. I don't think any fan will want to hear this. I don't want to talk about it, but it's part of the landscape. This next month is where the little birdies start popping up, talking about, you know how much money you can make? Tweet. Do you know what team needs a quarterback? Tweet. You know what team needs a running back? Tweet. You know what team needs a blank, whatever position you are. You know who's got more NIL money? You know who's got all that rev share money? You do you? DMs from I love Tennessee Volunteers 4479775. I'm just picking a team. Tennessee just seems like one. I don't know.
Yeah, why not?
I'm worried about the future because State hasn't had the season that they hope to have this year. Dropped some games that they shouldn't have dropped. Yet I think certain players have risen their profile pretty dramatically, which is a weird situation where I think you might have to worry about some of those players.
Yeah. Hey, I got more NIL money for you, and you want to boost your draft stock? Come to this big program and be on the national spotlight of all these games and be in a national title picture. That'll boost your draft stock too.
The future, I'd be a little worried about, and not only the future, guys thinking about the future.
Mm-hmm.
Used to see that in high school all the time, right? Some college coach would be at a game, all of a sudden players are playing outside their minds. Like, what do you do? That's not in the playbook. What are you trying to do there? Try to change full field 6 times with the ball? You run a 4.9. What are we doing here? You're not Jahmyr Gibbs. It's like, well, yeah. Thinking about the future rather than thinking about what you're supposed to do right then. Next team, what do we? Sorry, we got to go confidence. You're exactly right. What's your confidence for NC State?
My confidence is when it comes to their offense, that any one of their skill guys can lead the way.
Correct.
Whether it's Anderson, Noah Rogers, or Wesley Grimes, or it's Smothers, or Duke Scott, or Justin Jolie, again, depending on who's healthy and all that. They have a group of guys that at any moment can be the number one target and lead that unit.
Teddy Hoffman.
Hoffman.
I mean, there's more and more that it could go on and on down the list.
It's a really deep group. And again, any one guy can be the leader of that group on a given night.
My confidence is the Georgia Tech game. It showed when you put it together, even when they're not 100%, right? Hollywood Smothers didn't play. Justin Jolie didn't play. Prior to the game, if you asked me who their 3 best players on offense were, those guys are in it, right? Depending on the order you put it in, it's to me, C.J. Bailey, Hollywood Smothers, Justin Jolie is their 3 best players on offense. 2 of the 3 didn't play, and they lit it up. That right there should build your confidence through the gosh darn roof, because there's no excuses, right? Like, and I know Georgia Tech doesn't have the best defense, particularly run defense in the league, but that's a top. You went toe-to-toe with a top 10 team. Haynes King had 500 yards of offense, and you won the game looking fantastic as an offense, despite those injuries. So that game right there should be confidence-inducing. That leaves UNC. Can I do both my confidence and concern back-to-back here because they're paired?
Sure. Okay. Go for it.
My concern is their offense. My confidence is their defense. It's right. It's right there. I said weeks ago.
I mean, those are going to be mine. Yeah. So cut and dry. There it is.
We'll just build off it then.
Yeah.
Weeks ago, I said we should start talking about UNC, their football program, as if they're 2 different teams. Right? Because that allows us to speak optimistically about their defense, because they were getting better and they were being where they should be, and they were confusing teams, and it was showing up in the stats, while also acknowledging the tremendous room for improvement that the offense had, and acknowledging that the pass game isn't scaring people, and acknowledging the confusion of why Damon June can have a massive game and then get 3 carries the next game. There's so much built into their offense, and there's so much good if you look at the trajectory of their defense from week 1 to where they are now. So it's like, to me, it is the most obvious in the world. I am pretty confident in their defense. That's not to say that when they get up against better offenses, because they've faced some not great ones, that, it's not like they're going to hold teams to 7 points in every game. But I don't think there's any offenses. I don't think there are any offensive units, offensive coordinators that are excited to play UNC. I think there are defensive players that are excited to play UNC. And that right there tells you everything you need to know about this program, this team this year. So let's cut cons and cons there and talk about the head coach of UNC for a second. Bill Belichick. Did anybody hear what we just did? 50% of the team we're confident in for UNC. That is a raise by 50% from where we were.
That's real stats, real numbers there.
A couple of games in. I actually think Bill Belichick has done, on defense, a pretty unbelievable coaching job. And you can put it on Steve Belichick. You can put it on whoever, right? Whoever's most responsible for it, we'll never know. But the job they've done on defense has been pretty remarkable. I was in attendance on the road with my dad and brother for their game at UCF. it was pretty jarring. I don't think UCF's offense is anything to write home about. They were getting whatever they wanted, right? Like whatever they wanted. Then to see them up against a team like Virginia, not that long later, Virginia had scored 40 points a game, something along there. They were an unbelievable offensive unit, and Bill Belichick, Steve Belichick, and the UNC defense rendered them a shell of themselves. And they did the same to Syracuse, and they did the same to Stanford, even though those offenses aren't as impressive. Still a huge step up for UNC's defense. And it turns out that's all it takes to get Bill Belichick back in everyone's good graces. Maybe not everyone, but enough. As of yesterday afternoon, I brought this up earlier, and I didn't believe it at first, but I went and checked. DraftKings, Covers.com, a few other places were either writing articles about it or actually had the odds posted. As of yesterday afternoon, DraftKings Sportsbook had Belichick with the second best odds of being the New York Giants head football coach. Being the New York Giants head football coach, replacing Brian Dable, getting to coach Dexter Lawrence, getting to coach Brian Burns, who, by the way, is he still leading the NFL in sacks? I think he is. That's a legit conversation that's being had by at least Sportsbook. If it's not, I mean, and if the Giants are worth their anything, right? If the Giants are worth anything, they're at least going to explore all of the big names.
11 sacks for Brian Burns, tied with Myles Garrett, though Myles Garrett's played one less game, but yes.
There you go. Bill Belichick probably get him to 18.
He might.
By the way, Bill Belichick and UNC, what do they have? 2 of the top 3 guys in the ACC in sacks.
That's true.
Abu Jaude and his running mate, I forget his name, each had 3 against Stanford. They jumped up into number 1 and number 3 in the ACC in sacks. My point is, winning solves everything. Honestly, we should, and I should put it on like a sticky note and stick it to the wall here in the studio, because right when you're in this job, you're discussing sports for hours and hours each day. Sometimes we overlook the obvious because we're looking so, or at least I do, because I'm looking so aggressively for like the angle that no one's watching or what are we missing here. Winning solves everything. It should be the number one answer to darn near every question in sports. Well, the first option would be to win a couple games because that solves everything. Bill Belichick was a punchline. Nationally, how many, like, obviously, we all have friends from all over the country, right? You know, college classmates, your high school buddy, your cousins. I don't know. Like everybody has them. And when our triangle here, I shouldn't say little, when our market becomes the center of the sports world, I get a bunch of texts, right? When NC State goes on a run to the Final Four, when the Canes are in the Eastern Conference Finals, right? When the Panthers have the number 1 overall draft pick, suddenly a bunch of people are sending me, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? When Bill Belichick earlier this year was just the laughing stock, I was getting hit up from all over the country with like, goodness gracious, what a joke. And a bunch of punchlines. You know what isn't happening right now? No more jokes streaming into my inbox. The group chats, a little bit more quiet. That he's the second betting favorite to be the Giants' next head coach. I don't think he's going to be the Giants' next head coach, to be fair, to be upfront. But he's the second betting favorite behind only Mike McCarthy. All it took was 2 good defensive performances and close losses and 2 wins. And the jokes have pretty much stopped. When's the last time you heard a joke that was a Jordan Hudson punchline? Hasn't been this week. All it takes is a couple wins, and then suddenly people start remembering Bill Belichick. Suddenly people start going, it was going to happen eventually. I mean, he's a defense wizard, right? He's got a bunch of Super Bowls. At some point, they're going to put it together, at least on the defensive side of the ball. And you know what's the next step? And I guarantee you it's going to happen. The next step is the rewriting of history. You're going to start to hear people. You're going to start to hear sports media members. You're going to start to hear fans say, I told everybody. When everybody else was getting their jokes off, when everybody else said the game had passed him by, I knew he was still Bill Belichick. I've been saying it. I knew he was going to get it together. I knew everybody was writing him off too soon. Many, I'm not going to say all of them. Some of them may have been defending him. I will say I didn't hear many of them. Most people were writing him off and saying it's ridiculous. And I'm not 100% sure they were wrong. I think an easy schedule and some fortuitous bounces can change a lot, but UNC is in a different place right now. If they can be near the momentum they are right now heading into the offseason, I think it'll be an interesting recruiting offseason for UNC. Because guess what this conversation gives them? An easy answer. A 10-word answer, right? They talk about 10-word answers in politics. You need to be able to say your position on something in 10 words because that's all most of the public's going to give you, right? When somebody in the recruiting world, a high school coach, a parent, a player, brings up any of the mostly negative stories that have hit UNC this year, you can respond with, well, the NFL's still interested in him, and would they be if all of that was true? Yeah, he was in the running for the Giants job, but guess what? He said it from the very beginning. He was not interested. He was focused on Wake Forest. Do we have that audio for you real quick? Bill Belichick responding to some talks about the Giants opening he missed the exact comedic timing, and I'll tell you, what that comedic timing actually was, what I think he should have done to get maximum laughs, but this is what he had to say.
Yeah, getting ready for Wake Forest. That's all I got this week.
Has anyone asked you, or the players or recruits want to know about your future?
I mean, I've been asked about it from time to time, but yeah, I've been down this road before. I'm focused on Wake Forest. That's it. And that's my commitment to this team. And next week it'll be to our next opponent and so forth. But, I'm here to do the best I can for this team.
Do you know what the line should have been? We're not getting ready for Wake Forest. We're on to Wake Forest. That's the line. You don't have to say anything else. And then do you know what you say the second time someone asks? We're on to Cincinnati. Big laugh. No, it's good. Play that audio for all the recruits. Yeah, his name was popping up for the NFL. He stayed committed to UNC. Oh, he didn't really have any conversations with him. You don't got to lie if you didn't have any conversations. You say, but he made it known very early on that he was committed to Chapel Hill. Now, here's what our NIL offer is, right? then you're in the conversation. You're in the door. It's big for UNC just to have an answer to some of that stuff they were dealing with. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. And well, it's pretty simple, everybody. Maynard Service Company wants to help you out with your heating, your cooling, your plumbing, your electric. And when I say help you out, what does that mean? Well, I'm going to be real. I'm going to be vulnerable with you all. I'm handy. I can fix a few things. There's also a lot of moments where I'm trying to fix something and I realize I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I don't understand how to work a car. I don't know how to fix a car. So when I'm getting my car fixed, I'm just sitting there nodding along and going, oh, yeah, the carburetor, the belt, oh, the serpentine, okay. Don't know what I'm talking about. I use other people's expertise to fix the things that I depend on. Maynard Service Company wants you to use their expertise. Hey, when I flush a toilet, it's making a real weird noise. And then you're on the phone trying to, right, trying to mimic it, and it doesn't work. Hey, when I plug in this thing, the outlet, all of a sudden everything upstairs loses electricity, right? Like, I don't know how to fix that. I can unscrew an outlet. I can flip the breaker. That's about it. Let Maynard Service Company use their decades and decades and decades of experience in heating, cooling, HVAC, plumbing, electric. Let them use their expertise, and you get to sit there and nod along. They'll take care of you, I promise. Give them a call. If you have any problems whatsoever or just questions, concerns in your heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical, Maynard Service Company, the number 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993, or visit them online at MaynorServices.com. That's MAYNOR Services.com. We'll be back with a little feedback frenzy here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
Move your sports day forward.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, Bryce, shame on me. It'll take a Herculean effort to get Panthers fans to believe you're the guy that can help them go next level. When you can't run and that's your team identity, you gotta pass. When you can't pass, what are you? No late season stat padding is gonna change opinions a second time.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Waking up, getting ready, sitting in traffic. Let's face it, getting to work in the morning is a lot of work. But when you get a great deal on your favorite McDonald's coffee, becoming a morning person is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Now get any size refreshingly cold iced coffee for $1, a delicious mocha for $2, and a frappe for $3. Available only during breakfast hours. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Holiday scratch-offs, what a gift. It lets them dream just for a bit. Ski trip, cruise ship, sports car, pristine yard, courtside seats, fancy meats. Holiday scratch-offs can't be beat.
Give the gift of what if from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.19 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate down to 4.99% APR? Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days. Pay off all those high-interest credit cards and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. One call, life changed. There's no wait, no hard credit pull up front. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates are at a 3-year low. Act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto, A+ rated with the BBB and nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171 on approved credit. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Canes will win the draw. Walker, there's a drive, they score! Nikolai Ehlers! His first goal with the Carolina Hurricanes. It's a power play goal.
Been waiting for that one for quite a while now, but definitely feels nice to get that in today.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. So you know what time it is. It's 4:45 on a Thursday. But actually the timing is time for a feedback frenzy. Let's go ahead and fire it up. This is where we go online. We look around at all the feedback many of you give us on our YouTube comments, social media comments, wherever we can find them. We, first of all, thank you all for participating in the show. And then Dennis brings some of the best comments onto the air, and we react in real time. Dennis, what do you have for us?
All right, so the first one we have, this one comes from Panther 3000. Panther 3000 actually on a YouTube live chat wants to know, they can talk to the Carolina Panthers specifically for this Sunday. What do the Panthers actually need to do or looking forward to most this Sunday or needs improved most on Sunday? What's going to carry the team to a win? Is it the defense? Is it the rushing game? Is it an improved passing game, assuming Atlanta defense does what the Saints did, trying to force Bryce to throw? Where are you looking to see most improvement, and also how can they get a win on Sunday?
most improvement, what am I looking for?
Yeah.
Most improvement would be the passing game, I think, pretty obvious.
Sure.
Partially because the room for improvement is there. It's hard for me to say, like, the defense, they should improve so much. They give 17 points.
Yeah.
Like, that's good in the NFL. If J.C. Horn doesn't fall down, they give up significantly less. Listen, I think they could win this game doing the same thing they've done to win, all the games they've won recently. I think if they can get Rico Dowdle rolling, they got some rookies in the defensive front for Atlanta. If you can pick and choose your spots, get the running game popping some explosives, you can win. I don't think that's that's treating the symptom, not the cause, right? That's taking a throat lozenge when you have a cold, right? Hey, my throat doesn't hurt anymore for 15 minutes, and then you're right back to it because you're still sick. The sickness for the Panthers is their lack of a passing game. If you go up a team that you can bully enough in the run game, you'll feel good. You might get a win, right? That week, it's going to be awesome. Panther fans will be wearing their jerseys in public again. But you didn't solve the problem, right? The problem is your passing game. When you go up against good teams and/or teams that find a way to stop your run, that's when it gets exposed. So it better be the passing game. At least I hope it's the passing game. That would let me be. I want to be so wrong on so many of my Bryce takes. Mm-hmm. I hope he throws for 300 yards and keeps the defense honest. That would be the thing that makes me go, all right, let's hold. Let's see what he's doing and see what happens the rest of the year.
It's going to take a lot from Bryce to change opinions the last 7 games of the year.
But first of all, football fans are some of the most.
They're fickle. We all are.
They swing back and forth pretty aggressively.
Oh, yeah.
300 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. I'll give them hold on. Let's see what they're doing. Let's see what they're cooking. I'm not changing my opinion, but I'm tuning in the next week to see if I should. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for.
All right, yesterday you and Max had a conversation about the comments Nick Scorton, the rookie, had earlier on Monday in the week, saying, hey, some guys got big-headed, forgot what it takes to win in the NFL. Then Dave Canales, the head coach, yesterday saying, yeah, I wish you had kept that stuff in-house and didn't actually say that stuff publicly. So there's a couple different points of view on this one. I'm going to give you both here. This one comes from T. Newt. From T. Newt. Newt says, I can't deal with Canales anymore. Nick Scorton and Ike Ekwonu saying this is an indictment on Dave more than anything, and Dave's response is going to make the locker room split even more. But there's also one from Mitchell. Mitchell Wells says this. He can be right, and he can also not put things out in public. Talking about Nick Scorton. Nick Scorton can be right, and Nick Scorton can also not put things out to the public. It makes the team look bad, and the only thing that should do that is bad play. Calling out your teammates in public is not professional.
Is it not professional? Again, here's I think it was part of my point in that conversation. It may have been one I made later in the show. So let's make sure we're hitting on what's not professional, okay? Is it not professional to call out your teammates for lackadaisical practices? Or is it not professional to be a professional athlete having a lackadaisical practice? That, what's the bigger issue here, right? If I'm walking down the street and I see somebody steal a purse and I chase them down and punch them in the face and get the purse, you might look at me and say it wasn't right to punch him in the face. I might go, correct. But is that really the worst thing happening here that we should be focusing our attention on? The innocent bystander that ran down and got the purse back for the old lady? Or should we be mad at the person stealing the purse? Maybe Nick Scorton overdid it a little bit, right? Maybe. Is that really where we should be focusing our attention on, this needs to be fixed? I wish they would keep that inside. Or is it we'll deal with that later. We got to deal with the practices that led to a horrendous performance against the New Orleans Saints. Let's put our attention there first. People are getting mad at Nick Scorton. Nick Scorton played great.
Phenomenal.
In a professional sport, a results-based business, a what-have-you-done-for-me lately business, after a really bad loss to a team that you're better than that cost you a huge step forward in a division race, I'm focusing my attention somewhere on somebody that didn't play really well. I'm focusing my attention on maybe the root of the poor play and I'll figure out the rest later. That's not the most important thing right now.
All right. Earlier, by the way, it's not like he singled out any particular player or like
True.
a singular player. You know,
If
it's one
they're-
thing to be like, yeah, you know what? Chuba or, JC or something like that. That's different.
If
But
it
you
were
say, hey, we did not do this properly, it's fine.
if it were correct and it were a repeated thing, I have no problem calling out somebody by name.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody is like, think about it like this: Nick Scorton worked his whole life to play in the NFL, dreamed about it, sweat, gave up going to parties, woke up early to work out. He's in the NFL. You only get so many swings at it, right? Defensive lineman, I imagine the average career in the league isn't 12 years, right? It's less. He's a second-round pick. Maybe it's a little bit higher. Let's say the average is like 7-8 years. If he sees one of those chances slipping through his fingers, I'm not going in there with kid gloves on anybody. Saying what needs to be said. You might not like it, but again, I said it in the video yesterday. You can be a thank you or a bleep you person, right? If you don't touch the line, running, that's always like the stereotype. You're running sprints, you don't touch the line, one of your teammates calls you out for it, you can say, you're right, thank you. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to stay after and do extra. I wasn't living up to our expectations. Or you can say, man, bleep you. Coach didn't see me. Why are you calling me out? It's much better to be a thank you than a bleep you. If Nick Scorton, again, if it's right, if they weren't lackadaisical, if they had great practices, then yeah, go nuts, tell him he shouldn't be saying stuff. But if everybody knew it was a lackadaisical practice, and trust me, they know, then I have no problem at all with what he did. And if you have a problem with it, deal with that after you deal with the lackadaisical practices. That's a much bigger deal.
If you're the one that said it, or if you're the one that had the lackadaisical practice, you're probably if you're the one that was upset by it, you were probably the one that had the lackadaisical practice.
And lastly, Nick Scorton better be first in, last out all week.
Oh, yeah.
If you make that call, you got to be overly accountable. So I'm as long as all that's being taken care of, I'm good.
All right, let's actually shift focus to the Carolina Hurricanes. Earlier, we actually had a conversation about the Canes, and you asked the question, have they show more toughness? Have they shown more grit? This one comes from Suavely Sinister. Great name. Suavely Sinister says, I don't think being tough is necessarily fighting. I would like to see more hitting. It seems like our hardest hitters are cooking near me at times. And Sebastian Aho, maybe Jordan Martinook, you can throw in there as well. I want to see some hard hitting, especially in front of our goal. I guess just in terms of, more physicality in that regard.
I agree that showing toughness isn't only through fighting, but when called upon, you have to have that. I've learned, and this is changing opinions, right? If you go back, listen, 3 years ago, I flip-flopped on this. There's a time and place where you need that.
Yep.
The big hits and everything between the whistles, I think that shows toughness as well. But it's not just that. It's like Aho, Ehlers. I don't want them, sizing guys up on the open ice, looking to put someone boots over tea kettle. You know what I mean? But when they have the puck and they're possessing it, if they're absorbing hits and not going down, right? They're keeping their balance, making plays, net front presence, like that stuff's all there. And that was part of my question. Are they showing more of that this year than last year? I wasn't declaring it either way. I was asking because it was a big concern for me last year. And I'm just trying to prepare if it's going to be a big concern for me this year again, or if this team's a little bit different. I think they're a little bit different, but I'm just asking questions.
By the way, I want to make sure that people are a little bit clear when it comes to when people look at stats, when they look at total number of hits, and they see the Canes are usually going to have a lesser number than their opponent. You're not going to register hits when you're in possession of the puck. It's because you'll get called for interference. You'll get whistled for a penalty. So you're not going to register hits when you're in possession of the puck way more than the other team. So that's a byproduct of Carolina actually holding on to the puck and other teams chasing them. But you can still be physical with winning board battles and things along those lines.
We need to get into the analytics. It needs to be like hit per minute of non-possession.
Yeah.
Like you need, because that's what you're looking for, right? It's like, oh, you have more drops because you throw the ball more. It's like, well, let's just look at how many drops per pass. Like you can, because you're right. When the Canes are playing their best, they won't have a ton of hits because they have the puck the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like complaining a goalie doesn't have saves when they don't have shots on goal. It's like, well, what do you want me to do? I didn't have the opportunity. Appreciate everybody that interacts with us online. We love going back and forth. And you can as well. 99.9 The Fan on YouTube, 99.9 The Fan on most social medias. We have the starting five coming up next, so don't miss it. Stick around.
Move your sports day forward.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, Bryce, shame on me. It'll take a Herculean effort to get Panthers fans to believe you're the guy that can help them go next level. When you can't run and that's your team identity, you gotta pass. When you can't pass, what are you? No late season stat padding is gonna change opinions a second time.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads. Great for you, and so easy you can put any group of veggies in a bowl and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage? Weird, but still a salad. One radish and a couple of green beans? Also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke? Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, Injury Lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. Skies stay mostly clear heading into the evening, but grab an extra layer. We will cool back off. A low of 37 overnight. Friday, temperatures rebound, 67 by the afternoon with lots of sunshine. Highs reach the mid-70s this weekend.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock, check your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell today down 797 points to 47,457.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for the starting five, and as always, we start with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What?
So Michigan State football I want to be clear, this is Michigan State. Green, Spartans, Michigan State. Apparently had been playing some players with eligibility issues, right? There's some recruiting violations, and the NCAA has decided to vacate the wins where those players participated. Took away 14 wins in recent history from Michigan State. They've also fined them and docked them, I think it's 1.5% of their football budget, which had been nearly $50 million. So 1.5% is a good chunk of change. I just have one question, and I'm sure Michigan State fans are asking this all over the place. Why are they getting vacated wins and Michigan gets to keep their national championship? Michigan has also violated some form of rules, sign stealing. There were some recruiting violations. Their coach has a show cause and can't coach in college anymore. He's coaching the Chargers. And then the replacement coach also got suspended for games. Yet, for whatever reason, they didn't vacate any wins. Right? I would be very furious. Very furious. Can you be very furious? I'd be very mad.
Yeah, you can be very furious.
I'd be very furious if I were Michigan State, because I'm looking across the state going, wait a minute. I'm giving you wins, and they get to keep all theirs? The NCAA, first of all, it's been a while since I've gotten to go on a good NCAA rant. Not because they have started making better decisions. It's because they've lost their bite. They're all bark now. I'm surprised Michigan State even accepted this. They didn't just go, no. We have levied the following sanctions on Michigan State. No. I don't even know how you do that. But the NCAA has one thing to be worried about. One. Correction, I'll say two. If I were to start the NCAA over, right, and you got to have core values, right? Any business got to have core values. Right on the front page of the handbook. The core values would be two. We must do what's best for the student athletes, and we must be fair. That's it. If everything the NCAA stems from those two pieces, they're doing their job pretty darn well. Must do what's best for the student athletes and must be fair. Somehow they mess that up every time. One or the other is just completely botched every time. Completely messed up. It's not fair. Similar level transgressions get different levels of penalties. Not fair. And in sports, fair is paramount. I hope Michigan State beats Michigan next year. Probably won't happen because Michigan has, all the money and everything else, but I hope so. I hope Michigan has a punter just drop the ball and it gets returned. Isn't that what happened in that game 10 years ago? That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
We have some Major League Baseball awards that have been named. Cy Young. How about Paul Skeens? Paul Skeens, obviously the Pirates' young pitcher. He won the Cy Young Award. Unanimous Cy Young Award. And Tarek Skubal claims his second straight Cy Young for the AL. So obviously Skeens NL, Tarek Skubal AL. Baseball, and I'm obviously congratulations to them. They both had great seasons. The statistics back it up. They're unbelievable pitchers. Baseball might be second. I'll call it second. College basketball might be the most. Where as soon as somebody does something awesome, as soon as somebody does something really good, their fan base almost gets more nervous than excited. Because do you know what's true about both Tarek Skubal and Paul Skeens? They play for teams that I don't think they're going to be playing for much longer.
No.
Paul Skeens on the Pirates, Tarek Skubal on the Tigers. If you go search their names right now on Twitter, I bet you find about 50-50. 50%, hey, they won the Cy Young. That's awesome. What an incredible season. Here are some stats. And 50% them like photoshopped into Yankees uniforms.
Oh.
Photoshopped into Mets uniforms, Dodger uniforms, Red Sox, whatever it is.
Headline on ESPN, Skeens denies Yankees report focused on Pirates. See, there it is.
Look at that.
And then like 4 headlines down. Oh, yeah, they won the Cy Young.
It happens in college sports where it's like, I want you to be good, but not too good, because then, Ohio State's going to come scoop you up. Paul Skeens and Terry Skubal are so good that there's like no shot that they end up sticking with their teams, unless it's just on some pure loyalty move that they are willing to pass up hundreds of millions of dollars to remain with the club that saw their potential. Although Paul Skeens, everyone saw his potential. Pirates just had the pick. If you're a small market team, and small market, we're talking about Detroit. Like it's not like
Detroit's not small
market.
We're
not talking about Des Moines, Iowa. If you're a team that's not one of the 4 teams that have like seemingly never-ending money, you need to root for a very, very specific career arc for your best players. And it's the exact career arc of Cal Raleigh, the catcher for the Mariners. They need to be good, not great, until you lock them up to a life-changing money, like 6 to 8 year deal. And then they become MVP, Cy Young level players, because then the money's not so low, right? It's life-changing money. It's not like they're making, $1.8 million a year that they'll just hold out and demand more. They got to be getting like $20 million, $25 million a year. So they're willing to play for it. But it's also long-term enough that they're not just going to leave you as soon as the deal is up. It's a really specific career arc. And Skeens and Skubal have just been too good, too young. Also, side note, they could be, this might be a Dean's Lister item. Paul Skeens, Tarek Skubal, do you know how many scholarship offers in baseball? You don't even get fulls. But how many scholarship offers of any kind they had combined going into college?
I don't know.
3.
Oh.
Paul Skeens had, I think it was Navy and Air Force, and that's it. And Tarek Skubal went to a small school as well, and he said it was his only scholarship offer. He had to grind for it. Basically, go to 1 million camps to get the one scholarship offer. They're now the 2. You could mix in a few others. They're 2 of the handful best pitchers in the world right now. So, maybe we don't decide everything about athletics by how good you are when you're 17 years old. How crazy am I? That was number 4. Let's get to number 3. Panthers practice latest. Dennis, go.
Rico Dowdle practice. He was limited. He didn't practice yesterday, still dealing with quad injury, but he was a limited participant in practice today. Lathan Ransom, who had the surgery on his hand for, a laceration that he had suffered on Sunday. He had the surgery on Monday. Did not practice again today. And we also already know that Trevin Wallace is out with the shoulder injury, so he didn't practice. But everyone else was full and ready to go. Again, Rico Dowdle just limited with the quad, just slowly working him back in.
So there is the latest.
That's
for
it.
Panthers practice.
Don't know if anyone was lackadaisical. Not sure.
Today's practice, false enthusiasm. If I'm a Panther,
yeah, better not.
I'm sprinting from the water to the next drill. I'm talking trash. I'm over the top with it. That's the serious football stuff. Let's have a little bit of fun here. The NFL, meaning the owners, right? That's who makes up the business entity that is the NFL, has filed a grievance against the NFL Players Association. And Dennis, correct me if I miss, because when you get into grievances, I want to make sure the language is accurate and kind of we're passing along the information as it should be. They filed a grievance against the NFL Players Association for the anonymous surveys that are revealed and released each year from players about the grades for the teams. So they anonymously survey players on things like game day atmosphere for their families, cafeteria food, weight room, trainers, like all that kind of stuff.
So, yeah, directly, this is Seth Wickersham and Don Van Natta of ESPN have it in their article. This comes directly from, I guess, the grievance, saying that the league claims that the report cards, which poll players on various aspects of working conditions, violate a collective bargaining agreement clause that says NFL owners and the union must, quote, use reasonable efforts to curtail public comments by club personnel or players which express criticism of any club, its coach, or its operation and policy, end quote.
Hilarious.
Which is funny because, like, criticism's like, well, a lot of these places get A grades, which is actually praise. It's not criticism.
Hilarious.
It's praise.
Here's why it's hilarious to me. Not revealing the survey doesn't change what the players think of you and your program. Mm-hmm. It doesn't change. Hiding it doesn't change. The fans knowing just puts pressure on you to fix it, which you should have. Do you know why? Because whether it's revealed or not, whether you're aware of what the survey says or not, players talk. And when a free agent, which, by the way, professional football, big world, big business, small world. A lot of people know a lot of people. You know what I mean? College teammate. Hey, I share an agent with so-and-so. Hey, we work out in the off-season. Hey, we play charity golf tournaments in the off-season together. A lot of people at least have the number, right? So let's say you're a free agent. And you have 3 offers. Similar money. They don't need the survey to find out who takes care of their players better. They can hit their web of contacts. And once they do that, they know. They have the answers. The only thing is, you don't know. If you're the owner and you're like, oh, this messed up. Well, if you keep missing on free agents, it might be because you've gotten Fs in all of these categories. Without the survey, you just think they keep choosing these other teams. This is another situation, right, where people were getting mad at Nick Scorton for talking about the lackadaisical practices publicly. The Panthers young player calling out last week's practice. People were getting mad at Nick Scorton, and I'm going, I don't know. If I were you, I would focus on fixing the practices rather than fixing the player talking about the practices. If I'm an owner, rather than fixing whether they do the survey or not, I would focus on fixing the things that I'm getting bad grades at on the survey. Maybe then you'll be excited about them being revealed. I can't wait to see all the A's I receive. I've never once been mad. Like pretend it's the day after the SATs or the SAT scores come out. Remember, everybody goes and checks online. You know which kids are going around and asking, what'd you get? The ones that had good scores, because the way it works is, I got this, what did you get? And then they go, oh, well, 15, 20. And it's like, okay, that's the only you didn't even hear what I said, did you? Right? The Panthers, the Jets, all these teams that get a bunch of Fs, they're just mad because, you know, the well-run teams, the Seahawks or whatever, the Ravens, keep running around going, I got an A, what'd you get? That's it. No more tests. I'm taking the ACT.
Survey says one more for the good guys.
That's what they should do. They should reveal all of the NFLPA surveys on Family Feud. They should have Steve Harvey.
That wasn't Steve Harvey, but that's fine.
I know, but I'm saying they should do it on Family Feud, Steve Harvey. How many people are in the NFL? Like a couple thousand? 1,000 current and former players surveyed. This team has the worst food in the cafeteria. Bengals. Survey says. That's how they should reveal it all. Now we're talking. What number was that? 3? Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
Speaking of the NFL, Bill Belichick, second betting favorite as of yesterday. I don't know if the lines have moved. As of yesterday, to be the next head coach of the New York Giants. What do you think? You know what? I'll give you this. I don't think it's likely. I want that to be clear. I think it's very unlikely. I'm leaving the door ajar because I thought it was just as unlikely that Bill Belichick would ever end up coaching at North Carolina. So crazier things have happened. If I'm the Jets, Belichick's not what I'm looking for. Right? We could look at it from Bill Belichick's standpoint, and he did the right thing. He came out, I'm focused on Wake Forest. That's it. I'm committed. He said all the things he needs to say. If I'm the Giants, I want a coach that can grow offensively with Jackson Dart and Malik Neighbors and Cam Skattebo and some of those young offensive linemen, right? Bill Belichick's, 73, 74 years old? By the time Cam Skattebo is in his, or not Cam Skattebo, by the time Jackson Dart is in like his quarterback prime, 3, 4, 5 years into his career where he's seen every defense, he's dueled with the defensive coordinators, he has his counter punches lined up. By the time he gets to like where Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen and these guys are, where they feel like they're ready to go truly solidify their place in history with a ring, Belichick will be pushing 80. I don't want to go get a coach and know full well that by the time my guy is ready to go chase the greatness at the top of the scale, I'll have to make a change again. Not to mention he's a defensive mind and we need an offensive mind. With that being said, I think it's good for UNC. I think it's good for UNC for this reason. What I would do is I would pay. I don't even know if you can pay. That probably makes it a little bit less ethical. So I wouldn't pay. But I'd find some blog, some like Homer blog for UNC sports, and I would have that person show up at like every third press conference and just ask about another open NFL job. Have you, what would be the next one? Another job that could open up. No, actually, I won't do that. We'll say, Team X. The Team X in the NFL just opened up. Bill, have you heard the rumors that you're going to be the next coach for Team X? And I would do that as often as possible. Maybe this is me kind of, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I still think that helps recruiting. I still think if you're a 17-year-old and you have options, you're a 4-star, you're an 18-year-old or you're a 21-year-old transfer and you have options, going to the guy who the NFL respects the most still matters. I'm not saying that's Belichick, but I'm saying Belichick could make it pretty obvious that it's him. The Super Bowl rings, the connections in the sport, I'd have Gronk at practice. I would talk about not wanting the Giants job, whether they reached out to me or not. Make it seem like I turned you down. It has to matter. I know that the money matters most now, but it has to matter. That's number 2. How about number 1?
Go on!
There it is. NC State basketball beat UNC Greensboro last night 110-64. 110-64. Do you know how many points NC State scored in the second half?
Like 63?
63.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm gonna frame the game in different ways. NC State won 110-64. NC State scored 63 in the second half. UNC Greensboro scored 64 in the entire game. For NC State, 2 players, Darian Williams and Paul McNeil, combined for 59 points. UNC Greensboro scored 64 in the entire game. Every player on their team combined for 64. 2 players for NC State combined for 59. Right? It was a dominant victory. Do you know how crazy it is that kind of Darian Williams had his career high. He was all Big 12 last year. He's a preseason All-American. He had his career high last night. Paul McNeil, career high in points scored, 32 and 27 for each of them. 32 for Williams, 27 for Paul McNeil. Do you realize how much of a vibe you have to be for everything I just said to far and away be the second story of the night? The story of the night was NC State's attitude. And I'm not saying it like a bad thing. I'm saying it like they're trying to announce their presence. They had a player ejected in the first 5 minutes. Another player got a technical. It's their third straight game with a technical called on them. 2 for their coach, then the dust up with the players. They are not interested in making friends. Not with officials, not with opponents. They keep the pedal to the floor. Score like I don't know why I remember this. One of those weird burnt memories from like early fandom. I was watching, I think it was a college basketball game. I'm not going to say the teams because I don't know for certain, but I must have been like 5 or 6 years old. I'm talking like weird burnt memory from when you're a kid. I was watching a college basketball game with my dad, probably my brother around there somewhere, and the team had 99 points in a blowout, won by, I don't know, a bunch. And the point guard dribbled out like the last 20 seconds. And I mean, I don't know if you're aware, in elementary school, the number 100, big deal. They celebrate number 100, right? Everybody's got to bring in a collection of 100 things. I have 100 buttons. I have 100 cookies. I have 100 whatever, right? The 100 is a big deal. And I remember saying, why aren't they going for 100? Why are they dribbling it out? And my dad just looked down and went, it's because they have class. And I remember going like, that's okay. That's kind of cool. Like, been there before, right? 100 doesn't mean anything. They can score 100 whenever they want. NC State ain't worried about you thinking they have class. They won by a boatload and pushed for 110. Right? They're not like, who cares about getting 100? We won't embarrass our opponent. No, they're going to try to score 1 million. Why? Because they're trying to disrupt. Since Will Wade took over at NC State, it has not been about like, what do they say when you're driving in a canal on a boat, slow, no wake? It's not about that. They're be darned about your dock. I'm making some wake here. You're going to feel this. And I kind of respect it. I don't want to say kind of. I respect it. You don't got to like it, but you got to respect it because the thing that it does is it forces them to back it up. Yesterday on the show, Dennis, you weren't here. I said I want to see the juggernaut, right? NC State promises they talk a big game. We're not going to rebuild. We're not reloading. We are showing up and we're going to win big, win now. And they had won their first 2 games by a lot. They'd won them handily, but I hadn't quite gotten that like, oh, they're ready to go be a top 3 or 4 team in the ACC vibe. Last night I got that vibe. Here's how I've been describing Darian Williams all day. Dennis, have you ever seen the movie Shutter Island?
I actually have not.
Okay.
I know a Leonardo DiCaprio movie. I need to watch it, but I will admit I have not.
Well, I will refrain from spoilers here.
Okay, that's fair.
It's a movie with twists and turns and things, right? That's not a spoiler. It's a thriller whodunit, whatever you want to call it. When I was in college, that's when that movie came out. And me and a couple of my teammates went to go watch Shutter Island. And we had no expectations, just went to watch a movie, and we loved it, okay? Great movie, mind-blown style movie. Later probably the next day, we saw a bunch of our other teammates. And we said, dude, you have to go watch Shutter Island. It's crazy. We're not going to spoil it for you. Just know, Leo, Mark Ruffalo, you got to go. They went that day. And we saw them later after they went to go see Shutter Island. And I can only imagine our face, like lit up eyes, big smile, because we were just going like, told you, huh? Knew it, nailed it. And they were immediately, crazy, what do you think about this? Wait, did you catch this? Blah, blah, blah. Like we went into it. When Darian Williams makes a play, when he hits a big 3, when he grabs it, goes coast to coast, when he makes a play, his face looks like, told you, right? That was awesome, wasn't it? I knew it was. I had already seen it. I knew it was great. You haven't seen it yet. How great was that? Just that smile of not surprised, not like, oh my goodness, how awesome am I? Just exactly what I told you, isn't it? As good in person as it is on tape, huh? Like it's just a knowing confidence. And then he put up, like the stat line is bananas. 32 on 19 shots, by the way. 6 of 8 from 3. Crazy. 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals. Yeah. It's as good as you thought it was, wasn't it, right? Leonardo DiCaprio movie, Mark Ruffalo, lots of twists. Pretty darn good. Everybody else, you can go crazy. I already saw it. I knew it was great. It's that, I don't know, it's a swagger, it's an aura, whatever you want to call it. Last night was the first night I was like, oh, I get it for State. The first 2 wins were good. That one was like if they can do this in the ACC, People are not going to like them, and they are going to win a lot. It's that kind of thing. We'll see, though. It's got to translate against better opponents. That's the other thing. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Dennis Cox has something he'd like to tell you.
Dennis Cox here real quick for Loan Pronto. Folks, what if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate to 4.99% APR? Right now, Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. One call, life changed. There's no wait, no hard credit pull up front. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates are at a 3-year low. Act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com to get your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781 on approved credit. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We need some numbers game contestants. The numbers game prize for today is train concert tickets with Bare Naked Ladies and Matt Nathanson at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on July 16th. If you want the tickets to see the band Train, you got to win the numbers game, which means you have to call in now. The number, 919-860-5326. Call in now, 919-860-5326 to play the numbers game. Next.
Adam.
I'm Adam Gold, and I'm there.
Tim.
I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm there.
Dennis.
I'm Dennis Cox, and I'm there.
Victoria.
I'm Victoria Bodenecker, and I'm there.
Paul.
I'm Paul Eihander, and I'm there too.
You'll find them all here on the brand new 99.9 The Fan app. To work, to school, the beach, the mountains, the arena, take The Fan with you wherever you go. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. Powered by Aspire Money Management.
The Black Friday sales event is on at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Right now, take advantage of over $11,000 off a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee or a new 2025 Jeep Grand L. We've got 11 to choose from, but when they're gone, they're gone. So don't wait to get your $11,000 off. Jeep, go anywhere, do anything. See dealer for details. Get off your keister and get to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington today.
3 Days Grace. Alien Nation Tour. Adam Gontier returns alongside Matt Walst live March 17th, Lenovo Center, Raleigh, with special guests I Prevail and the Funeral Portrait. Get tickets Friday at livenation.com. 3 Days Grace in concert, presented by Live Nation.
Hey girl, haven't seen you downtown lately.
Nope, sticking to our go-to places.
You mean like Sharky's?
Well, we love our Sharky's. Best wings and gumbo on the planet. But we never miss the $5 sangrias on Wednesdays at the new Salt and Lime and Mexican pints on Thursdays for $3.
You know my boy loves the House of Hops. No better selection of craft beer in the state. Loves their specials, their food trucks, and you know I love my wine. They have a wonderful selection.
And have I told you about our new takeout spot, Che Empanadas? It's right next to Sharky's. They have 20 different types of authentic Argentinian empanadas, and they are incredible, especially the breakfast ones. You gotta try it.
Sounds perfect. And how awesome is it that they're so close to each other?
Oh, it's perfect, all right.
Give them a try. Che Empanadas, House of Hops, Salt and Lime, and Sharky's. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from each other off Durham Road, Glenwood, and Grove Barton.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. Here's how it's going to work. The prize for today, by the way, tickets to see the band Train, along with Bare Naked Ladies and Matt Nathanson. They're coming to Coastal Credit Coastal Credit Union Music Park this summer. The contestants for today are Sal in Morrisville and Jeremy in Apex. I'll bring each of them on the show, ask them the same question. We'll get their answer. Dennis will pick his favorite answer. That person will get to go first. Sal, are you there? We'll start with you.
I am.
All right. The question for today is, I don't know what made me think about this. Maybe saw someone on social media, but you know, like Joey Chestnut, they do the eating competitions. He does the hot dog, but when they're introduced, they're always like, he's the world record holder in chicken wings in 10 minutes, soup in 2 hours. If you had to win a eating competition, what food are you lining up?
Oh my God. You know what? I want to say I can go with Little Necks, the clams, Little Neck clams.
All right. I like the specificity. Any follow-up question, Dennis?
None whatsoever.
All right. That brings us to Jeremy in Apex. Jeremy, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
Same question to you, right? When you get introduced at the hot dog eating contest on 4th of July, they say, like, he's also the grand champion of French fries in 12 minutes, as well as pizza in 19 minutes. If you had to win an eating competition, what food are you lining up? What food are you choosing?
Let's go with pizza since I'm Italian in background.
All right, pizza. So, Dennis, you get to choose between Little Neck clams and pizza for the Italian.
I don't like clams, so I'm going to go pizza on this one. Simple as that. That's the only explanation I have.
Sal, I like clams, but I'm not the judge. So.
That's fair. By the way, the correct answer we're looking for is double stuffed Oreos.
You think you could win double stuffed Oreos?
There's a reason why I needed to lose 42 pounds.
Well, see, that to me isn't a taste, or it's like takes you a while to eat them thing. Like I could eat sleeves of Oreos, but I'm not doing it quick because it's a lot of it's like eating a saltine. It just fills your mouth and takes a while. Anyway,
speak for yourself.
All right, then. That's why you would win, according to you. So who goes first? Or Jeremy gets to go first. Sal, don't worry, you'll have your chance. Just have to sit on hold. Sal, can you hear me? Or sorry, Jeremy, can you hear me? There we go.
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
All right, the categories for you are NFL players with mid-November birthdays, NFL players that were Josh Dobbs' teammates at some point or another, NFL players that are all Europeans, or I don't believe we have updated that one. So those are the three you get to choose from.
All right, let's go Josh Dobbs' teammates.
All right, Josh Dobbs' teammates. These are all players who played with Josh Dobbs at some point or another. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Do you have any questions before we get started?
No, sir. Let's go.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Travion Henderson, New England Patriots.
42.
Say it again.
42.
Incorrect. James Conner, Pittsburgh Steelers.
30.
Correct. Chig Okonkwo, Tennessee Titans.
Pass.
Budda Baker, Arizona Cardinals.
24.
Incorrect. Travion Henderson, New England Patriots.
37.
Incorrect. Chig Okonkwo, Tennessee Titans.
18.
Incorrect. Budda Baker, Arizona Cardinals. You got James Conner with the Steelers, which is a nice little pull. I didn't realize Josh Dobbs was in the league that long. Longer than I thought. For those of you playing at home, you got one. Leader in the clubhouse. Stay on the line. We'll see if it holds up.
Okay.
For those of you playing at home, Travion Henderson, 32. He plays tonight on Thursday Night Football. Dennis, can you undo that real quick? There you go. Okonkwo with the Titans, 85. Budda Baker, he's won a whole bunch of different numbers with the Cardinals. 3, 32, and 36. Would have accepted any of those. That brings us to Sal. Sal, can you hear me?
I can.
All right. The remaining categories for you to choose from are NFL players with mid-November birthdays or NBA players that are all Europeans.
I'll do the mid-November birthdays.
All right. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. You need at least 2 for the win. Any questions before we get started?
I'm good.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Christian Kirk, Houston Texans.
13.
Correct. Mark Sanchez, New York Jets.
7.
Incorrect. Minka Fitzpatrick, Pittsburgh Steelers.
29.
Say it again.
29.
Incorrect. Mark Sanchez, New York Jets.
10.
Incorrect. Minka Fitzpatrick, Pittsburgh Steelers.
32.
Incorrect. Mark Sanchez, New York Jets.
8.
Say it again.
8.
Incorrect. Minka Fitzpatrick, Pittsburgh Steelers.
31.
Incorrect. Mark Sanchez, New York Jets.
Pass.
That's one. That's a tie. Goes to first. You know the rules, Sal. You threw out a lot of answers there. You couldn't quite get home. Appreciate it though, Sal, and try again. You know the deal. Minka Fitzpatrick 39, Mark Sanchez 6, and he got Christian Kirk with 13. But either way, tie goes to whoever goes first. So by way of pizza, Jeremy and Apex, you get the tickets to see Train as well as Bare Naked Ladies and Matt Nathanson.
Awesome. I appreciate it, guys.
Stay on the line. Dennis will grab the info he needs to get you your prize, but congratulations once again. All right. That was a kind of chaotic 1-1 tie. Felt like a lot was going on there to only have 2 right answers throughout the whole thing.
But both guys were like right there in the area.
What I liked is they kept firing. When there's the long pauses, that's when I get frustrated because you're just costing yourself time. Just send out a number. You got a 1 out of 100 chance regardless. And usually by sport, you can eliminate some and get a better situation. Right? I've talked about this. Basketball, 3s, 33s, 23s, 32. Football, single digits and teens, right? If you don't know a player, feel like single digits and teens. Always a good option. Baseball, for whatever reason, I sense a lot of 5s. We don't have baseball as a category often. Hockey, 7s and 9s. Come on now. There's just got to play the odds. Just got to play the odds. Can you tell I've paid attention to a lot of these numbers games? I got a whole strategy. I could write a book like the Jeopardy guy, right? He won Jeopardy so much he wrote a book about it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, all of it. It's nice to just have one number to call, right? It's like having a handyman from 1940. Whatever goes wrong in the house, you just call the handyman. Whatever goes wrong in your house, you just call Maynard Service Company. And they bring the same type of family style, right? The same type of family atmosphere, just like the handyman and Leave It to Beaver or whatever. Knew everybody in the family, right? Oh, I'm going to go check the attic. I'm just going to go through little Jimmy's house, right? They know. That's how Maynard Service Company wants to be. They're in our community. You see their trucks. They're working with our philanthropic organizations that help our community. Let them get to know you. Let them get to know your house, more importantly, right? So when you call up and say my heater isn't working the way it should, they already know the model, they know the brand, they know what they've worked on in the past, right? Let them build that relationship. It makes everything more efficient moving forward. Service. Let them do service, meaning maintenance checkups on your system. So, again, they'll know, hey, this piece, this part, it's good for now. May need to replace it in the future. That way, in the future, if something happens, they're like, oh, right, boom, I know exactly what to check first. And I'm just spitballing here, right? The point is, I'm not an expert at it. They are. Highly trained technicians, tons of experience in the field. That's what Maynard Service Company brings, and that's why you should write down this number, 919-361-0993. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, all of it. 919-361-0993, or visit them online, MaynardServices.com. MAYNOR Services.com. When we come back, for those of you that missed it, caught up with Mike Glennon all about quarterback confidence in the NFL. Talking Bryce, talking quarterback brains in general. We'll replay that for you coming up next. Stick around.
The Adam Gold Show.
I know they haven't really been tested, but I like everything that I have seen from this Wolfpack basketball team. I like their size. I like their versatility. I like the fact that they share the basketball. 27 assists in the opener, 37 made field goals. You keep playing like that. Unselfish ball, play defense. With their size and their talent, they could win.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
May I help you? I just wanted to request a late checkout, please.
Of course. That's $30 per hour for up to 4 hours.
Huh. Okay, but if you can offer a late checkout, then that probably means no one is staying in that room. So if it's empty, maybe I can just stay a few extra hours.
Oh, aren't you adorable?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Get ready, Durham. The CIAA Football Championship is coming to Durham County Memorial Stadium Saturday, November 15th. Don't miss your chance to experience the culture and tradition of HBCU football as the two top teams in the conference battle it out for the title of CIAA Football Champion. Visit DurhamNCSports.com for more information and to secure your tickets today. That's DurhamNCSports.com for CIAA Football Championship tickets.
Healthcare is not a game. Neither is health insurance. Contract negotiations between WakeMed and United Healthcare are down to the wire. Our terms are clear. Play fair. Stick to the rules. Patient care is at risk. Whatever the outcome, WakeMed wants to be here for you with the care you deserve. Anything else just isn't in our playbook. Let United Healthcare hear from you. Learn more at wakemed.org.
Catch every single moment. The Dugout Tavern and Grill is an official member of the Canes Bar Network. With the NHL package, we broadcast all available games on the 16-foot high-definition video wall. Soak in the energy on our indoor-outdoor patio and bar, where you can see and hear the games. Plus, enjoy drink specials and a terrific menu. It's like you're on the ice, but better. The Dugout Tavern and Grill, Kelly Road in Apex, and thedugouttavern.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-294-3311. 800-294-3311.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is time for our weekly check-in with our resident NC State legend and longtime NFL quarterback, Mike Glennon. Mike, we'll start with Bryce Young's had a run, right? Ups and downs and everything else. This week, the conversation has centered on confidence between play caller and quarterback. I don't know if you watched the entire Panther game. I don't know why you would. It was brutal to watch at times. But Mark Schlereth, three-time Super Bowl winning offensive lineman, said it 100 times as the color commentator. They are daring the Panthers to throw the football. They were blitzing off the edge to force Rico Dowdle, into the tacklers and all of these things. And they could not connect downfield. They didn't try to connect downfield very often. What's the relationship between play caller and quarterback? Can you sense in the NFL, or in the headset even, if they believe in you or not, or if it's wavering at all?
I think you can for sure. You can tell by the way the game is being called. Mm-hmm. Are we a first down throwing it, or are we running it all the time on first down? Are we...
Well, I'll push back on that because they've been running the ball so darn effectively that I get it. Like, if you wanted to establish the run, but there has to be a point where, all right, if we're not trying to throw it downfield now,
yeah, right, yeah.
Now it's insulting.
Of course, if you're running the ball well with Rico Dowdle, look, that's the strength of our offense right now. But you can kind of get the sense at times in critical situations or going into halftime, like, hey, we're just going to take a knee and take it in the half. Like, yes, that's something. I don't know. You can just get this sense sometimes.
A specific situation from this game. So early in the game, Bryce Young is actually on their touchdown drive, their only touchdown drive, very early in the game. Throws an interception, and it's one of those, like, hits a linebacker in the chest. You're looking, like we've talked about, you're looking for a ref that maybe he was hiding behind or something because, not a great one. Pass interference call, or not pass interference, sorry, roughing the passer call, drive extends, they score a touchdown. From watching at home, it seemed like that throw shrunk the playbook by 50%.
Yeah.
And you can't win in the NFL with that. a defensive back falls down, Saints get a touchdown, and now it's like, well, game over. There's no way we're coming back from down 7 because we can't trust this guy to throw. It was the lack of ability or willingness to test him downfield was obvious.
Yeah, that stuff can definitely happen. And sometimes, like when you come to the sideline, the way they interact with you, like sometimes it's like, give me something, like make me feel like you believe in me, make me feel like, hey, we're talking about throwing it the next time. Sometimes it's just like silent, and you're like, man, this guy, something's going on here where he just wants almost like nothing to do with me. So I unfortunately, I know from experience what that feeling can be like. And then other times where conversation on the sidelines is positive. What do you want? This is what I'm thinking. And I think that's what the great coaches do is even when times are tough, you kind of find ways to make the quarterback feel like you believe even if you don't. So I'm sure that's not the easiest thing to do at times because there's a long history of, good and bad and everything in between. But Dave Canales needs to find a way to make sure Bryce doesn't have that feeling.
Do you ever have we're talking with Mike Glennon, longtime NFL quarterback. By the way, my co-host with Pack Therapy, the podcast, so we may not hit much NC State here on this show, but if you want to talk NC State football, Pack Therapy, the podcast, available everywhere podcasts can be found, including our station's YouTube and our station's app, 99.9 The Fan. Did you ever have the old school corded phone on the sideline, which the coordinator was then up in the booth? I could take it as long as every time I come off the field, it's ringing and you pick it up. I can get yelled at. I can try to explain myself.
Yeah.
It's when you went over, sat down, and the thing never rang that I was like, oh, man, I must be doing something awful.
Never a good feeling when you come back and it's just like silence. And it's almost like you can see the coaches not want to make eye contact with you.
Backup quarterback, giving you a towel or something for an interaction.
I would actually always pride myself on that as a backup quarterback. Find a way to say something encouraging or something because there's not many people that know that feeling of there's 60,000 people that think you're a complete idiot right now.
Yep.
And it's pick me up in some way.
I was big on just get him talking. Just go what'd the safety do on that second down? I don't want cameras on you and have you just sitting there in silence, right? Be talking. I didn't what'd you have for dinner last night? Just make your lips move because right now we don't want stagnant.
Yeah. But bring it back to Bryce. I mean, I think we talked in the past about being a game manager, and being a game manager is all good and dandy, which I think you can be when you're winning. But it's when you lose and you only have 125 yards and you haven't thrown for over 200 yards since week 2, then it's then it becomes harder to say, okay, you can be a game manager. And losing 17-7 to a not very good Saints team. All eyes are going to be on the quarterback after that.
How and I know that the NFL is a different beast. It's big business, and you're always thinking about your next job. So paint this for me. I think the way it's going, it's pretty obvious. If something doesn't change in a big way, Bryce is going to lose his job, right? And I don't like predicting that, but when you're going multiple weeks without throwing for 150 yards, you're losing games, and it's kind of adding up. That it's a results-based business. Is there any autonomy you can take? If they're not going to call it, hey, T-Mac, let's get going. What are they going to do? Take your job? If we're being real, in 2 months, you're probably going to lose it anyway unless something changes.
Look, I think that is some people's personality. I don't see Bryce Young being that kind of guy. Jameis Winston, he's probably going to do that because he's going to go down swinging. Bryce doesn't necessarily seem to have that personality, and I would say that's something easier said than done.
Oh, 100%.
It's one thing to go out there and just say, kind of F everyone. I'm going to do what I want. He still wants to be the Carolina Panthers franchise quarterback, and he, and
at this point he is like Andy Dalton's not taking the
so job. I just think the way he plays, I don't think he's going to ever completely take over a game and win it. No, he can. He's shown to do that. But he's not a Josh Allen type physical player. It's just to be a game manager, I still think is fine. You can't have those boneheaded plays where you throw it right to a guy, though. You have to play an extremely clean, efficient game and not turn over the ball, not have negative plays, and all that. So that he just has to play clean if he's not going to necessarily take over the game and win it.
We're talking with Mike Glennon here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Did you have a team that you owned? Like a team that you looking on the other side? Because, I mean, I have some stats here for Bryce to back it up, but I just wonder if this
whatever
exists.
reason, I played well. I had a lot of losses in my career. I played well against two teams, and that was the Falcons and the Steelers. I don't know how many wins I have, not many. Two of them were against the Steelers. And then the Falcons.
And this was Steelers, this was Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger Steelers.
Yeah.
These were good Steelers teams.
Yeah, and I always played well against Atlanta.
Because if right now, Bryce Young has 11 wins in his career. He has 11 and 26 as a starter, which isn't great, but he's added a bunch of them this year. 4 of them are against the Falcons, including he had a 5-touchdown day, 3 passing, 2 rushing, overtime win to end the season last year. And earlier this year, 30-0, they got the win. Granted, the Falcons helped in that a bunch. But when maybe your confidence is low, could you just be like, no, this is the team. Like, this is my get-right game right here. I see that stupid bird on their helmet, and let's go.
It's funny that you say that. I don't know if it was the type of defense they played that allowed me to be good against it or what. But when I played for the Bears, I remember the night before the game, offensive coordinator gets in front of the offense and speaks. He had this kind of creative way of, making guys feel good about himself. He's like, I'm going to go through the scouting report, what I think Atlanta is saying against us. And, of course, he wasn't pointing out any of the negatives. He pointed out all the positives. And before that game, I don't know what my numbers were against. He's like, against the Falcons, Mike Glennon's thrown – and it was actually pretty good. And I'm like, all right, that makes me feel pretty good about myself. And I went out and played pretty well the next day. So I think, it wouldn't hurt for Dave Canales to remind Bryce, remind the team that, look, you're 4-0 against these guys, or 4 wins.
4-1, I think.
4-1, okay. 4-1, and probably bring the numbers to show it. And just brings kind of good energy. And it's, so I would definitely do that if I was Dave Canales.
All right, that's Mike Glennon, our resident NFL insight into what it's like to be a quarterback in the league. Again, check out Pack Therapy. We co-hosted all about NC State football ahead of their game against Miami Saturday at 3:30. Another ranked opponent for the Wolfpack. Until next week, Mike, appreciate it.
Yep, thanks for having me, Tim.
Once again, that was Mike Glennon here on 99.9 The Fan. Tomorrow, Canes game at 7 o'clock. It's kind of nice. They're a lot at 7 o'clock now.
Yeah, it's normal. I like it.
Yeah, how about that? They're playing Vancouver. It is at home, the first of a back-to-back. The reason why I'm pointing it out now is you can listen on the 99.9 The Fan app.
That's right.
And I don't want you rushing to download. We've all been there, right? With all the different streaming services, you sit down to watch the game, you go click to watch it, and it's, oh no, now I have to download an app. I got to go register. I got to get my email, got to get the code, do it the day before. So if you know you're going to be out and about, you're going to be looking to listen to the Canes game tomorrow, download the 99.9 The Fan app right now. Register, name, birthday, whatever you got to put, email address. Get it all registered. So tomorrow, puck drops at 7 o'clock. We encourage you, or actually I'll say this. Stormwatch with Adam Gold's at 6:30. Our show is from 3 to 6. So at 2:59, you could just go ahead and throw it right on and listen to the show and take it right up through game time, all the way through 000s, right? When they hopefully get the win over Vancouver. But it's all on the 99.9 The Fan app, along with podcasts, and you can read blogs and articles about your favorite teams. There's a whole bunch of stuff on that app that you should check out. 99.9 The Fan is where you find all of that. Thank you to Mike Glennon. If anybody had been tuning in all afternoon, I've been on air since about noon. I really enjoy these moments. I think it's cool. Some of you might get a little sick of me, but I had fun. So hopefully you did as well. If you were listening, I really appreciate it. And Overdrive is coming up next. So what am I talking about? You got another half hour of me. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, have a great night, everybody. Pack Therapy is in session, thanks to First Horizon Bank. It's Tim Donnelly from 99.9 The Fan, alongside legendary Wolfpack play caller Mike Glennon.
Every episode of Pack Therapy is your chance to get dialed in with inside information on your team.
We'll set you up for every Wolfpack game all season long.
And we'll break down every contest, what went right and what could have worked better.
Plus, special guests to keep Wolfpack hope alive.
Follow and subscribe to Pack Therapy wherever you discover your favorite podcasts, and watch every episode on YouTube.
Is your heating and air system ready for cooler weather? Call Newcomb & Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newcomb & Company, your independent trained dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
Tired of hearing this from your local tire place?
Sorry, we can't fix it. Take it to Dauntless.
This year, skip the middleman and take your car straight to Dauntless Transmissions if you want quality work done right the first time. Transmissions, engine, or brake work, or just a regular tune-up. If it's broke, Dauntless will fix it. For quality work done with the kind of experience that works for you, take it to Dauntless Transmissions first. Go to DauntlessTransmissions.com to book your visit today. Dauntless Transmissions, your local source for exceptional service.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate down to 4.99% APR? Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days. Pay off all those high-interest credit cards and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month.